you can't hang with that. 쏟아져 빛이 멀게 된 눈이 멈추지 않아. Once we go 내게 더운 널로 모든 배워 빨리 달려. 넌 못 따라와. True damage we do it. True damage 보여줄게. 뭐든 쉽게 이기든 지든 my crew make the beat. No one could stop us. They'll try but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no. We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're weak, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
I keep on shattering time. I might just leave you behind. Homie, you stuck on rewind. You just quit sleeping on mine. You got your back on reclined. When I damage your delicate spine, please don't act out, shy and surprised. They be like, what you mean? What is your winning scheme? I got a giant team. Big as my self-esteem. Run it back, running man. They think they go hard, I'm like, come again. You run at a time and I'm busting in. While you stumbling, I got this blade in my hand for your punishment.
We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're weak, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
What are you willing to lose? You cover your wounds, but underneath them, a million voices in your head that whisper, stop. Another twist of the knife, it's another screws, it's all in your mind, and it's fighting you on yourself. The storm is coming. Well, kid, what you gonna do now?
It's your reflection looking back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today? Make it out alive. You gotta conquer the monster in your head and then you'll fly, phoenix fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons, then tear down the ceiling. Phoenix fly.
what you gonna do? Now you're playing with matches, come out of the ashes underneath you. A million voices in the crowd, they're screaming, stop. Well, let them swallow the pride, you're turning the tide. It's true believers, got them in the palm of your hand. You're playing God now. What you gonna do now?
It's your reflection looking back to pull you down. So are you gonna die today? Make it out alive. You gotta conquer the monster in your head and then you'll fly, phoenix fly. It's time for a new empire. Go bury your demons, then tear down the ceiling. Phoenix fly.
What you gonna do?
Hello and welcome to the St. Louis University stream. The University varsity team will be taking on the University of North Texas for a chance to go to San Diego and make $20,000 from the prize pool. We're in champ selection right now, and the first 3 bands from the University of North Texas side are Nunu, Rek'Sai, and Yasuo. Pretty standard bands, all early game strong champions. Zaga is a Nunu 1 trick, of course. And Yasuo is played very heavily by the Jerbear. On the other side, Lucian, a tri-flex pick. Olaf, very strong jungler right now. And Senna, very strong flex bot lane pick, have all been banned. Kali has been picked here. This is not the patch where Kali gets nerfed, that is the next patch. So Kali is quite strong. Duo flex in mid and top lane allows for a lot of opportunities for counter picks and flexibility in draft. On the other side, from St. Louis University, they pick up the Cassiopeia, and I expect to see an AD carry here or a support. We're looking at maybe a Leona pick here, or Nautilus would be an expectation here. Nautilus is locked in. Now here, I expect to see a jungle pick and an AD pick here, but I'm not really sure how they want to draft it from University of North Texas. We'll have to see. This game 1 will give us a lot of insight into draft for the next game. There's the Rek'Sai pick, so jungle is going to be locked in. Rek'Sai is very strong in the meta right now. No real counter picks. Most of the Rek'Sai counter picks are not meta. Rek'Sai does not scale very well, should be noted. So you really want to play Rek'Sai with early game champions. So I don't expect to see an Ezreal pick here. Don't expect to see a late game pick here, something like Vayne. Rek'Sai tends to be paired stronger with champions like Lucian, which of course is banned. So we'll have to see how the pick looks out, and it is Xayah. Xayah threatens a Rakan pick, of course, which allows for an easy ban from St. Louis University's side, but possibly a bait. We'll have to see. Very strong top. Caitlyn is insta-locked from St. Louis University, one of the Pro B favorites. Bans from St. Louis U now. Jungle, bot, and possibly mid have been picked. On the other side, AD, support, and possibly mid have been picked. So you expect to see jungle bans from University of North Texas, and you expect to see support bans exactly from St. Louis University. Because the Akali can be flexed, it's not really a point banning top laners unless they're very strong. Something like Ornn might merit a ban here, but we'll have to see. So you expect to see Elise banned here, one of the 3 strong junglers. You can see Mordekaiser banned. Okay, so they're really trying to target top lane, make sure that they give themselves a top lane favored matchup. We'll have to see how it goes. Seconds left here on the ban from St. Louis University.
Your work
Ban is
decisions will
Morgana
help
to
you.
make sure that bot lane does not wind up in a non-fighting lane. Morgana, of course, would counter Nautilus quite hard, allow for a very easy disengage, and stunt the fact that Caitlyn is able to follow up very easily on Nautilus hook with traps, of course. If they, meaning University of North Texas, ban Mordekaiser here, and Renekton, you expect to see a Darius ban. Or Kled. Okay. Kled is being banned here because Zaire does play a lot of Kled. Zaire, of course, is a Darius player, so you expect to see Darius last picked here into a matchup that he would want to play versus. So more than likely, okay, Ornn is picked. Ornn is a safe blind. Nobody's going to complain about it. Early Ornn pick tends to be very strong. Zaire, of course, did play this multiple times from both sides of the matchup versus Akali. We had, of course, our scrim games where he played Ornn into Akali. Played it very well. So we have high hopes for him from St. Louis University. Thresh is being picked here. Thresh is decent against Nautilus. However, it doesn't really provide the same level of reliability that a champion like Leona would. With guaranteed lockdown, so it's more of a disengaged champ than an engaged champ. Silas is an interesting champion. Silas is quite strong right now and can steal Nautilus or Arnold, which are all pretty strong, but Rumble is locked in. Again, another flex bit can be played mid, can be played top. We'll have to see. Timo, of course, being covered by Killen. Just wanting to show our audience here, say hello to Twitch chat, give a little bit of love. And the Elise will be locked in, as I alluded to, of course, in the ban phase. Could have been banned, but they chose to instead ban Kled and Mordekaiser. We'll see how that turns out. What do we think about the lock-in here? Well, we'll have to see where the Rumble and Akali goes. More than likely, Rumble will be going top lane. Doesn't play that well into Cassiopeia range versus melee matchup, of course. Rumble kind of cheats the melee matchup in that he has damage from outside of melee range with Electro Harpoons and with his Flame Spitter, his Q, and has a lot of movement speed with his W. So you'd want to put Akali into it just because Akali has a little bit more reliability against range champions in that she can close the gap very easily. Rumble has a bit of a harder time. Whereas Ornn, I think it's a Rumble favored matchup early game, but Ornn can scale in very well versus Rumble because Adaptive Helm is easily buildable on Ornn. He can, of course, build into Abyssal Mask, which gets upgraded by his Ornn passive at level 13. So he has a lot of very good items that he can build this game versus the enemy comp. Abyssal Mask being very strong with his team, considering they have 2 AP threats, and even works well with the Nautilus, because Nautilus, of course, does AP damage at close range. We're going to have to wait about 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the game will start. We are on a spectator delay. If anybody needs to get up, grab a glass of water, take a quick break. This is the time incoming game. Any other opinions that we have here? Just based on draft. St. Louis University is going to push very hard bot lane. It looks like a heal versus TP in bot lane. This is, in my opinion, not standard. I think that the TP from Xayah is interesting and also is a lot of... You put a lot of pressure onto the Xayah early game because of the fact that if she gets hit by a Nautilus hook, there's no heal to back up the fact that she may die instantly because of the Caitlyn trap. And of course, again, Thresh is not Morgana. He cannot peel the Nautilus off as easily. Nautilus will hit the hook and he will hit the follow-up auto attack. Proby, being a Caitlyn player, will be able to put the trap down and Xayah will die. On the other side of the coin, if Caitlyn gets hit by a hook, Xayah will one-shot Caitlyn. So, engaged champions are very hard to play with when you are getting engaged on. Cassiopeia versus Akali. Akali has slight favor in the matchup. Once she gets Gunblade, she of course has complete favor in the matchup. Level 6, she can kill Cassio, but Cassio has Miasma, which stunts a lot of Akali's damage if she's able to use it after R1. This is not, again, the patch where Akali gets gutted, so her R1 is not targeted only. She can use it freely. And her R2, of course, is being nerfed for the speed at which it travels when you use it. And her Shroud is being nerfed in that if she is stunned or CC'd during Shroud, she will be revealed. That is next patch, not this patch. For Elise versus Rek'Sai, both are early game champions. Elise scales a little better than Rek'Sai does. But it's all up to jungle pathing. It's all up to the jungle matchup. We'll have to see. Saga, of course, being the highest ranked player in this game, will look to try to gain pressure and try to play around his winning lanes, which will most likely be bot lane. We will have to see. Open Twitch on phone, let the people be heard. Don't worry, I'm doing that. Owen isn't looking at chat. That seems unhelpful. Somebody is... Chu, of course, has decided to take it upon himself to message from the Slew Esports Twitch account and mention that I'm not looking at Twitch chat. That is completely incorrect. Type anything you want in Twitch chat. I'll respond to you. I'll call you out if you say something stupid. And we'll have to see how it goes. I'm using Twitch chat on my phone so that I can actually see the stream to make sure that the stream is running properly. Fighting for sure. Any important factor of the runes? Ornn does not want to trade top. He has Aftershock. Kali has Fleet Footwork, meaning she's afraid of getting poked down in this matchup. Zaya took Lethal Tempo, very standard. Proby took Fleet Footwork, very standard. And double Aftershock supports. Jungler went Halo Blades on Rek'Sai, which allows him to stack up her Fury bar more quickly. And Elise, of course, runs Electrocute due to the burst damage of the champion. Alright, we are getting into game. The stream is just lagging a little bit. And of course, we'll have to wait for base gates to drop before anything starts up. We're just quickly going to close the time controls so that we can see everything on the screen beautifully. Pull up the starting items very briefly. Nothing special about the starting items besides the fact that Akali did not buy any. I'm going to assume that that was a mistake, which it was in fact. A little bit of nerves showing, but we'll have to see. No early invades coming out from either team. Rek'Sai went for the early ward, which of course can be countered by an early sweeper buy for Zaga, and an early ward from the Zaya, also in Tribush. So 2 wards down from University of North Texas, and no wards spent from St. Louis University, just holding their ground. They have a stronger level 1, a little bit more range advantage, and Cassiopeia can be very strong level 1 depending on if she skills anything, because during an invade she can skill W, and of course just ruin everybody's day. The switch over to Sweeper from Rek'Sai, very standard gameplay, drop a ward, switch to Sweeper, move on. Zaga looks like he is starting topside. This is a top to bot path. Zaga will see how much he can do early game. Ward over the wall from Killenth over to the red buff, just to see Rek'Sai pathing early game to make sure that Rek'Sai doesn't get an early blue invade from red buff start. Rek'Sai starting topside as well, top to bot pathing. Very standard. Let's go Slu. Hey, Mr. Plum, this is game 1. Yes, this is game 1. Trash ADC. I don't know why people are flaming AD. Both ADs are very good players. Just trading bot lane. Nice push. Going about as it should. Caitlyn should have a little bit more push advantage. Obviously, Zaya has Q level 1. But Caitlyn has range advantage, which means it can zone Zaya out from autoing minions as easily. So, gives a little bit more push. Kate. Looks like Killenth and Proby are trying to push for 2. Both duos are trying to hit 2 as quickly as possible. See if they can get cheeky level 2 all in. Neither of them wanted to go for it. Both hit 2 at exactly the same time. Top lane very standard. No real CS leads being built up outside of mid lane, where it looks like the Jerbear has a bit of a CS lead, but that might just be a freeze on mid wave. Both junglers pathing into their buffs. So Zaga went for red buff, blue buff, and then Gromp, and the Rek'Sai Flick went for blue buff and then red buff. So inverted pathing, very standard. Flick clearing out a ward, mid lane, might path into mid, but the Jerbear should know he's there. This allows Zaire to play a lot more comfortably, because he knows his jungler's not on that side of the map. Looks like Flick might be looking for a very cheesy gank, but might get spotted out by Zaga. They're both on the same side of the map. Flick sees this. He's going in very early. Early flash. Nice knock. Nautilus to make sure that Caitlyn tries to stay alive, but does go down in the end. Zaya. So very cheesy gank from Rek'Sai, but it worked very well. Nice little over the wall. No flash on the Rek'Sai, should be noted, and no flash on the Thresh, while we did lose the flash on Nautilus and, of course, on Caitlyn. Nice little 800 gold lead built up due to this CS that's about to be crashing into the turret, and due to the fact that there was an first blood kill with 2 assists coming out. We'll have to see what the recalls look like, but this is going to give a lot of pressure to the bot lane. Zaire trading very heavily top lane, using all of his abilities, but he is playing Ornn, so he has the ability to buy health, he has the ability to buy mana early game, and doesn't necessarily have to piggyback right away. Chat is saying Jeremy equals Faker. I love Proby. I hate Proby. It's all good. Zaga is a god on Elise. That is correct. Zaga is very good at Elise. Doesn't play much Elise, but he's very good at it. He's a Nunu wonder. We'll have to see how he is able to make this game work. Obviously, there's no snowball, but that's okay. global warming for Zaga. It's alright. The Jer Bear is just training mid. There's not really much pressure that's being built up. He has a nice CS lead of 13 right now. Jungle CS lead is a bit larger due to the fact that Rek'Sai was able to pick up both scuttles. Just having bot lane pressure and then Rek'Sai being a little bit stronger allows for her to rotate up to top side and get pressure on, of course, top lane scuttle. And obviously we saw the Rumble was pushing into tower, so Zaire was unable to roam. Both top laners haven't backed. Interesting start from Rumble. We'll note that he started the Thorn's Ring. Obviously he doesn't benefit from the mana gain, but he benefits from the AP and health. No other item in the game can give you AP and health at level 1 for 400 gold, so you might as well run Thorn's Ring. Even if it's maybe not the most optimal in terms of stats, it does give you the stats that you're looking for when you're playing a champion like Rumble. Especially since you're obviously seeing him trade very heavily. Both junglers just pathing. Right now Rek'Sai is on Krugs, possibly looking bot lane again. Proby with no flash, and he's pushing up a little bit. Killenth being in a warded bush, might not know that, so they have to be a little careful. Looks like bot lane is pushing back into red side for St. Louis University, so they might be able to deter the game. Proby is trying to push it back in, however, so we'll have to see. Aftershock being procced on Horn, that might allow for a top lane all-in. Killenth using his dredge line on a minion there to pick it up with the Targon stack. Support items being changed this patch, not this patch, sorry, this season. They're a lot stronger in terms of early game gold, but they don't scale as well. So you always have to make sure you optimize your gold gain, which is why you were seeing Killenth go for the dredge line on the minion. I hope, unless he thought that would hit. Rek'Sai dodging the Elise Cocoon, very good play. Blue smites Elise, we'll see the fight in the river. Elise flashed away from the Rek'Sai knockout. TP coming in. Looks like Killenth might be dead in river, we'll have to see. Looks like Rumble comes down, and Killenth should go down as well. That might be a free dragon. Nice Rumble flash forwards, but he's unable to find anything else onto Proby. Killenth goes down 1-0 right now in favor of North Texas University. Zaga's walking forwards, trying to soak lane XP. He's down a lot of gold. This might be a kill onto the Jer Bear, but no, they decide not to all in on the Akali. I feel like there might have been a lot more damage, but with the barrier coming out from the Jer Bear possibility, it is a little bit dangerous for them to go for a play like that. Jer Bear missed cannon. We will not talk about that. Item pickup from Rumble. Got the Haunting guys very early. That makes them quite strong. TP being used, of course, by North Texas University, but not from St. Louis University. Nor was it able to be canceled by the St. Louis University top laner, which makes it quite difficult for them to win lane. Oh, Killenth looks like he's going to be caught in lane here. He doesn't have a dredge line angle. He does make it out. No, he does not. Double auto coming in after the flash from the Xayah and the ulti to keep her out of tower range. Very well played from the North Texas University. University of North Texas, I apologize. 80 carry. Very, very strong. Just a little bit of a misplay from Killenth trying to freeze the wave outside tower to allow for his 80 carry to pick up as much farm as possible. But unfortunately, it made his 80 carry go down in the process. Quite a shame. So Zaga being a level behind does get a little bit of respite, and the blue buff is being given over to the Akali. But it's not very good for his mid laner, who is currently being pressured out because, of course, the blue buff is being given over to Akali, which is quite strong on Akali right now. Zaire is trying to freeze top lane, so he's trying to hold off maybe 4 to 5 minions in order to keep the wave at his tower. Rumble, taking note of that, decides to walk mid and go for the Scuttle Crab. Rumble, of course, can use his ulti from in the river and drop it onto the Jer Bear, possibly forcing the flash with the ulti from Kiana, playing the Akali. But we'll have to see whether or not they decide to go for that play. Both mid laners should be sitting on quite a bit of gold. The Jer Bear has not backed yet. He's sitting on 2,100 gold right now, with Kiana sitting on 1,700. Bot lane difference is about 1,200 gold in favor of University of North Texas, with a 400 gold gap for supports, and jungle gap being 700 right now, so giving them a lot of leniency on the map because they have such a large gold lead in their bot side of the map. Is this expected from their team comp? Somewhat. Rek'Sai's early game pressure is very strong. The Jer Bear scales harder than Qiyana will, but I would give the scaling favor normally to the Xayah because of the fact that she has the ability to build so much damage while not having to be concerned about her own safety. Whereas Caitlyn has to be concerned about her own safety with the existence of things like Rumble Ult, with the existence of things like a flashing in Rek'Sai on top of the Thresh Hook, things like that. And of course a Kali running at you. He has to make sure that he tries to stay as safe as possible. Full Essence Reaver bot at 10 minutes by the Eden carry of University of North Texas. That means bot lane is going to be a contestable area by University of North Texas. They might even try to go for bot lane tower very shortly. They have TP up on Qiyana. TP is also up on Zaire. He will be able to respond given the opportunity. There's no ability to cancel from the Rumble. Nice little trade coming out from Zaire using the Brittle into the knockup after he drops the Flame Pillar in the ground. Bot lane looks like it is going to be fought over. Nice little Rumble ult top to make sure that he won't get ganked. And the wave will have a harder time being frozen. And Rip Turtle being dropped off. So that would be bot lane tower going down for University of North Texas. That would be first tower. Very well played from them. That is a 3.7k gold lead right now at 10 minutes. Very, very strong gold lead early game. Ryan opted for the roam mid lane, or Killenth rather, opted for the roam mid lane, and Kobe had to back. So that was just a free tower from the University of North Texas. Carry an even larger lead. Took the gold value right now. It's up to 1,500 gold. The Jerbear goes for an ulti there onto the Rek'Sai, unable to find it. But the 4-man rotation from St. Louis University nets them a Scuttle Crab soon before the Dragon spawn. Nice little trading from the Jerbear. They all have to be careful because of the wards in place, and of course with power, University of North Texas AD carry, who is able to very easily... Oh, the engage coming out from Killenth. That's going to be an ulti onto the Xayah. Ulti from Akali, tries to one-shot Zaga, and it is going to be a one-shot coming down. Zaire TP's in with the ulti from Horn. No knockup found. Flick does go down. Jerbear popping his barrier, dodging the Xayah Q. Feathers do not fly yet. Xayah still has ult. Kobe kiting backwards. Nice trap put down. Xayah ulti comes out, kills the Ornn, and that is going to be a team fight wipe, almost, from the University of North Texas. Proby is the last one to make it out with his life. Should be noted that was a 4-for-1. Proby trying to make it out. It does go down to the Rumble, who chased him under what would have been the tower. But tower, of course, went down earlier with the Rift Arrow plating 10 minutes on the dot. Zaga should get a kill here, but might trade. No, doesn't trade back. Unfortunately, gets hit by the hook from Bradford Love. Nice Thresh play, leading into the Lantern on Elfcan, which takes out Zaga. Down he does go again. 0-2 for the Elites. Down a level on the Rex side. Down quite a bit of gold, about 900. Breaching 1,000 at this point. Mid lane is down 1,200 gold. Top lane is down almost double gold at this point. It's about 2,400 or so. And support difference is about 1,200. And top lane difference, of course, only being in kills. So it's going to be close to about 3 kills worth, which is about 600 gold. Just because Zaire obviously has a kill so balanced. Well, so map state, they decide, University of North Texas decides that they want to rotate their bot lane top lane, whereas St. Louis University keeps their bot lane. Killenth should look for a roam here into bot side jungle to try and get more vision, because Rumble will be able to safely clear the wave, or more than safely clear the wave, due to the threat of Equalizer, which he does not currently have. So he might have to play safe until he has it up, but we'll see. Zaire, of course, being able to cast the Ornn W Bellows Breath onto a Thresh Hook will allow him to always play aggressive and clear the wave until there is jungle threat, which is why Zaga is currently top lane in order to deter the jungle threat from Flick. The Hex Flash being channeled by Bradford Love. Nice little Flade's going to wait on the hook. Lantern comes down for the AD carry to come in, and Zaga does go down. Zaire has to run under tower. The question is, will he be able to make it out alive? Or will he be camped until he's going to die? Looks like they are deciding the Xayah wants to proxy farm the lane, but with the threat of Killenth rotating, it doesn't look like they want to stay for the kill on the Ornn. He does have ulti, makes it a lot harder to dive him. Looks like they're just going after the tower. University of North Texas quite strong. Nice knockup from the Ornn, but he just went in 1v3. Looks like he's going to go down here, not able to reactivate the Ornn ultimate, and does not get a knockup, only the brittle effect, which is not able to be procced by Killenth because he does not want to go into the 1v3. This is not looking quite good for St. Louis University squad, down 10 kills at this point, down 8,000 gold. Quite a deficit to come back from, but nothing is impossible. Make sure that they keep warding up. Look at the CS again, so only up 9 in top lane. Zaga's down about 20 or so. Mid lane deficit is about 15. Bot lane deficit is about 20. And supports, of course, are mostly even. So, from a casting perspective, you obviously look at this game and you say, well, it's going to be quite hard to claw their way back, but every time Ornn hits a level after 13, 1,000 gold is given to his team in terms of stats. So with a champion like Caitlyn being able to build Infinity Edge, which is one of the better Ornn items, that's 1,000 gold of raw AD that Caitlyn's able to utilize, so that bridges the bot lane lead quite substantially. Rift Herald being taken, surely being taken down by the University of North Texas squad. They're going to take down Shirley and be able to drop it more than likely mid lane, which is currently being pressured. Zaka will be able to clear the wave quite easily. Zaire, ooh, the one shot from Akali, just blowing up the AD carry of Proby before he even drops any of his summoner spells, and then kills the Nautilus afterwards. Akali being quite strong on this patch. Pre-nerf, meaning that is easily going to be 2 kills bottom. Quite a substantial lead that Akali is building for herself. Rift Herald does go down by Shirley, but this will allow for the outer turret to be pushed in, and now the inner turret is being attacked. We will have to see. 1 minute on Dragon Spawn. So the University of North Texas should be able to play around that. They have full control of jungle. With the Akali having no ultimate, they should play safer in terms of a team fight. Everybody on the side of St. Louis University has ultimates, so they are bush camping right now. Rumble was spotted by that ward. Has to make it out, and nice scrying lens in order to see where the University of North Texas is camping and waiting for the kills. Jared Bear looks like he was channeling a recall, but thinks better of it. Dragon about 30 seconds out, we'll have to see. Really nothing happening on the map, just waiting for Dragon to crash in. Killenth making sure that he grabs all the cannon minions with the waves to split the gold with his support quest item. And as you can see, lots of wards being dropped for the University of North Texas side. Dragon being spotted. This is 3 Drake for the University of North Texas. This threatens 4 Drake and Mountain Soul. Mountain Soul is not a win condition in and of itself, but it is quite strong and is a viable step towards a win condition. Proby trying to clear bot lane. We'll have his team rotating into him very shortly. We'll just take a look at the items for him. Oh, a knockup from Killenth going in, making sure he wants to take down the Zaya. And the Rumble, nice flash backwards into the Lantern. Akali goes in and gets rooted and stunned instantly. Flash backwards from the Jared Bear. Rek'Sai ulti, channel dodge the wrong person, hits Zaire, and Rek'Sai does go down there too. That's a clean 2 for 0 from St. Louis University. There was no flash burned on the Rumble there. He just managed to walk it out alive, but no sums currently on the Zaya. That is quite important for the next team fight. So, although Dragon was taken, that's the big objective, St. Louis University was able to find a nice pick off the back of Killenth. Very well played. Able to use the Nautilus dredge line into the Nautilus ultimate depth charge in order to knock out the enemy carry of Zaya. Before Zaya was able to use her ultimate, she was able to ultimate backwards and flash onto the Lantern. But the damage was already done by then. Nice little Rumble ult, of course, to try and hold back the burst. This Akali is troll, question mark. Kali is limit testing, comeback time, and definitely poggers. I would agree with that. That was a good team fight. That's what that was. It was quite a difficult team fight because of the fact that Akali ulted right into a cocoon from Zaga, so she got instantly one shot. She also got autoed by King before she was able to do any more damage, so after R1, R2 was unable to cast. That's part of the reason why she went down there. Red buff being donated over to Proby, just to make sure that he's able to get the most use out of it. Proby, of course, being the longest range champion in the game right now, in this particular game, which means that he is able to make the most use out of red buff. So they want to give it to him. The Jared Bear has no sums, also worth pointing out, but a few little shutdowns and a nice bit of gold influx means that items are starting to be built in St. Louis University Champions, which is part of the comeback potential. They are down about 8,000 gold, 7,500. In goes the Rek'Sai, but there might be a cocoon. No cocoon in time. The Rek'Sai knockup delays the cocoon animation from Zaga. Has to switch back forms in order to try and get the cocoon off. Zaire goes for the red buff, the blue buff steal. And it appears as though he doesn't want to take it from his mid laner. Okay, very well done from the Akali to go in and steal that. Obviously has Thresh rotating in, so there's no way that Zaire would be able to take that fight. Akali being quite a bit stronger than Zaire at this point in the game means that she is able to more than likely fight that. Obviously you're looking at itemization. Akali looks like she's building into Death Cap, and possibly into Zonius to make sure that she doesn't get one shot again. From the Ornn, you can see already his first Ornn item in his Abyssal Mask has been built. He is currently level 12, so still unable to upgrade Ornn items. You expect to see from Proby a Infinity Edge coming out next so that he can get the Ornn item upgrade, give himself another 1,000 gold, and possibly go more even because he's only down about 3,000 gold right now, which was the same lead that they had after Bot Tower was dropped about 10 minutes ago. So the lead has been sustained, which is good news for St. Louis University, but also bad news because the University of North Texas is playing extremely well, giving themselves a lead. Mid lane tower being forced down, the Jared Bear appears to be backing, and this is going to be tower free or not. It looks like Killen wants to go for the engage, but they back out very quickly. And Thresh, of course, with the Lantern means that he can run very quickly and get out of any engagement with his Xayah. As you can see, Thresh is playing around the walls above Wolf Pit, which allows him to not only Lantern towards his bot laner, but also allows him to look for plays in case somebody pushes up too far, or allows them to get hit by a hook. Sweeper from Zaire means that they're going to gain a little bit more control over their own jungle, but also means that they have to keep buying pink wards because there is no warding trinket outside of Proby. Proby can't be stepping up to ward. Kiana might go for a play here, but it's a little bit greedy if she wants to walk in. She might not know that 5 St. Louis University members are close by. There's the upgrade onto the Jared Bear's Zonias, which gives him more armor and more AP. This is going to definitely be a fight around the mountain Drake. But University of North Texas looks like they might just want to push and give Drake. Ooh, the Jared Bear gets spotted backing. They might be able to make a play. No, they're going to keep pushing. They're going to push into the midlane tower. Possibly take an inhibitor. Rumble ult coming down to deter. Possibly look for the steal. Zaga decides to walk right through it just to make sure that he can get out as quickly as possible. Bradford Love tanking tower, and then Zanok tanking tower. Get it. Nice ult from the Jared Bear trying to take down the Akali. She still has R2, and she R2's over the wall. Nice little delay from Texas. Ooh, the knockup from the Ornn. Flash out from the Rumble. Nice stretch line. Down does go Rumble. Possibly a turn from St. Louis University to look for more objectives. They might have lost their mid lane tower, but they didn't lose an inhibitor, which is quite important. No way that hit. It's from the angle. Also, one of the things that's worth noting is there is a Z-axis in League of Legends, so if you're looking at terrain difference, sometimes you can be hit by skill shots that look like they're above or below you. That's why you see Ash arrows look a little bit wonky when they get thrown through the middle of the enemy base up the stairs because they move up and down the stairs on the Z-axis. Comebackable for sure. I agree with Twitch chat on this one. Both teams have the ability to win this game. I think it is much easier for the University of North Texas to close with this one out with a very strong AD carry and a very strong mid laner. But St. Louis University, playing off the back of the Jer Bear and Zaga's Cocoons, along with Zaire's very strong Ornn ultimates, might allow them to take this if it goes longer. Again, Ornn scaling is quite disgusting, but they need Proby to get items. So, Caster not nice. Cook ult support, but down does go the Thresh. Nautilus ult gets used, so does Threshold. Thresh does not burn his flash. He's standing on top of Miasma. Apologies. Which means that he will go down very easily, and that will just deter Baron. This is bad. The University, if they get a pick like this, say three more picks happen, right? Thresh dies once more. They get a kill on Rek'Sai, and maybe 2 people collapse on Rumble. The game is going to be a whole lot harder to play out, based on the fact that Baron is not going to be taken for the next 5 minutes if people keep getting picked. So St. Louis University needs to crack down on warding to make sure that they're able to play topside of the map, where Baron is, of course, and make sure that they're not going to miss out on the 4th Drake, of course, which will be spawning. Zaire looks like he's going to be starting up the blue buff for his mid laner more than likely, but might try to take it himself. This might be a Baron rush. University of North Texas might have a read on this one, where everybody is on the map. Saga's not close enough. There's no vision of the pit. It looks like Proby's walking in to maybe get a scryer on it, but it might be a little too late, and down it does. Oh, the flash in from Zaga attempted steal. Nice hit on the blast cone to make sure that he does get out. And he does, but Baron goes down to University of North Texas. Very decisive shot calling. Very, very well played. That is going to allow them to push 3 lanes. More than likely 1-3-1 would be beneficial for them. And hopefully they are looking at mid lane inhibitor getting cracked from their perspective. And possibly picking up a second inhibitor through top lane, more than likely. But we'll have to see if they just group up and try to play for this next dragon. They might not have the ability to push out lanes as easily because they will just be grouping for dragon. But with Baron, they should be able to push mid and then rotate back for dragon. Keep Baron pressure on mid. Durakali is able to obviously escape from any engagement for Rek'Sai. Looks like engagement on the Rek'Sai. Nice ultimate from the Jailer, stuns him up, flashes over the wall. Knock him up. Zaga goes into stopwatch from the Jer Bear, and down does go 4 members of St. Louis University. No ultimate from Zaire as he was off on the side of the fight. That's going to be maybe the end of the game. 27 minutes in, it looks like they should be able to push in and end. We'll have to see. Some more ultimates moving in. Zaire gets knocked taken down. And from University of North Texas. Early game very well, and taking down St. Louis University 18-5 at 28 minutes and 14 seconds. Very well played. Well, all right. We will wait for the invite for the next game, and there will be a delay in between games, so there will be music on in the background. Now is the time to go get a glass of water, sit back, and wait for game 2. And from our perspective, hopefully game 3. We'll have to see. All right, let's look at Twitch chat. What are you guys saying? Caster number 1, thank you very much. UNT tried to throw. They did their best. Wow, that looked like it was too easy. From the perspective of the players, I don't think that the game was easy because there was a lot of pressure from both sides. It made it very difficult to play. Mid-game was sloppy from UNT. Yeah, the closing was definitely a difficult issue for them, but the Baron rush into a team fight mid allowed them to win. When are the warm-up bot games going to be over? Nice meme. Okay, dude. Muffins are hot. Thank you. I appreciate that, Banana. I think UNT need to not troll mid-game, but they smacked after Baron call. Yeah, it was a good Baron call. Allowed them to take the game, but obviously made it a little bit difficult for St. Louis U to win after the Baron was taken. St. Louis U drafted a team comp without much ability to clear Baron waves. Not that many team comps do with the empowered Baron minions, but Cassio doesn't have very good wave clear, and Caitlyn doesn't have very good wave clear. So I would say game 2, if we're looking at draft adaptation, you're probably looking at that Cassio again from the Jerbear. Played it very well. The fear, of course, being a Kali who managed to pop off that game, get kills on both Proby and Killenth. And lastly, you're looking at that jungle who managed to get the early game rolling very quickly with that cheese Rek'Sai gank, walking over to the enemy blue buff and burrowing under their tower, red side, and flashing into lane to knock up Proby and eventually take him down with a Thresh Flay, which was a very good call and obviously a pre-planned strategy. So if St. Louis U is able to adapt to that, we'll see what they're able to do. But it's all up to what champions they're going to pick and how they're going to play the game. We always have confidence in both teams. Both teams play very well. Very high elo players. I believe that the elo average is very similar on both teams. St. Louis University, of course, having a challenger jungler, and University of North Texas having all high diamond players, being D2 and D1, with I think a Masters player, but don't quote me on that one. We'll have to see. Best of 3, best of 3. That is correct. Again, these are the ASU GSV games. These allow for a possible $20,000 prize pool and a trip to San Diego. In the meantime, music will be played and we'll wait for the invite from Zaga. I will be back. Thank you, stream. Shadow Dragon will not be interviewed.
The night beckons while you dream. A life never lives in peace.
Oi, oi, oi. Stream, stream, stream. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Wake up, wake up. No sleeping on stream. Wake up. Actually, the song is. Alright. Game isn't starting. Scuffed? You're scuffed, dude. I disagree. I'll flame chat. I don't care. I'll do it. Green underscore LED. Mr. Chu. Green underscore LED called this stream scuffed. Green underscore LED called this stream scuffed. I don't know. I mean, probably because it is, but I'm just calling him out on stream because that's what he gets. Morning. Don't you dare. Chew SSB ain't that good. Sending you back to Lumpy. Uh-oh. Alright. We're coming to game 3 shortly. Keep staying with us, those of you who did. Chew SSB Super Smash Bros. In LOL. That is correct. The director of St. Louis University's varsity program for esports is a Super Smash Bros. Player. He is a Bowser and Donkey Kong main. Meta Slayer. And yes, he does not win. Just have him in the lobby so that we can spectate because he's scuffed stream. You already know. We balanced audio, turned down the YouTube video. Can I get some ayayas in chat, please? This is what we're here for.
You ready for this? Let's go. See, 언제든지 내 모습 매직 단 한 번에 내가 잡아 절대 기죽지 않지. 펴펴 네가 뭘 알아? 견딜 수 없어 원해도 원하는 게 얼굴에 보여. I'm trouble and you running it. I'm so cold. When I move that way, you gon' be so blown. I'm the realest in the game. Said I'm on fire with the blade. You're about to hear my name, ringing in your head like whoa. So keep your eyes on me now. 무엇을 보든 좋아할 거야. We so tough, let's get it, show you up. Can you feel the rush now? Ain't nobody bringing us down, 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 down. They could try, but we gonna wear the crown. You could go another round, 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 round. Wish you luck, but you're not bringing us down.
You're scared. Good to know.
I apologize, stream. Unfortunately, we will have to end the ayaya because we are starting Champ Selection. Sorry. So, first band we're looking at, of course, from St. Louis University was the Akali from last game. Kind of popped off.
Come on, I won't
in
hurt you. I
Played fairly
promise.
decently during laning phase, was down a little bit of CS, but that's pretty standard for the college. So be a matchup. And the second ban from St. Louis University being Olaf, who is a pretty meta jungler right now and pretty strong just in general. From the University of North Texas, they banned Nunu again. Zaga's comfort pick.
Sharpening my
And
feathers.
Renekton being a pick of Zaire's.
No cure for fools.
Zaya was banned as a concern for the AD carry role. One of the problems with Zaya, of course, being her ability to stay alive because of her ultimate. Lucian locked in by the St. Louis University crew, and Cassio locked in immediately by the University of North Texas. We have a very fast ban phase with the Yasuo getting banned as well. Big Ban is going at the speed of sound. I expect Flick to pick up the Rek'Sai here. just because of the fact that they really enjoyed it last game and were able to capitalize on it very well. But red side is a little easier for rec side to play around than blue side due to the walls. Ornn locked in very early in the draft merits possible Braum counter pick, but we'll have to see. Lucian, of course, being locked in bot lane would allow for Braum to be locked in very, very easily. Mordekaiser picked by Zaire as the counter to the Ornn, just to grab it nice and early. You don't expect to see Kiana playing Ornn mid or Flick to be playing Ornn jungle, but all of those things are possible. Also, Bradford Love could play the Ornn support. We'll have to see. Not quite sure where it's going to go, but more than likely top lane. Cassiopeia being played mid by Kiana, more than likely, or technically Xanok could play it as the AD carry. Zed being locked in by the Jerbear. Okay, that is quite an interesting play. That's not a champion you see very often, and locking it in early is a bit of a risky move. Okay, the Jerbear said he wanted to win this game and decided, you know what? Zed's the way to go about doing it. Yo, whoever's casting has been killing it. Yo, I appreciate that very much, guys. I am solo casting here today. Yesterday, I was also solo casting. I'm pretty used to being alone, though. It's, you know, one of those things, guys. Welcome to League of Legends. All right, let's get back into the draft before I depress myself. Nautilus being locked in. Let's go! Easy pickups. The Rek'Sai being banned for Flick. One of his comfort picks. Elise being banned over to Zaga. They were concerned about his cocoon accuracy, which was, in fact, pretty good. Nautilus being locked in bot lane against the Lucian, making sure they don't have Nautilus Lucian. Nautilus, of course, can be played with one of my favorite AD carries, Kaisa, who is pretty good into Zed, in fact, as you might have guessed, because of the fact that she's able to build Zhonya's. Because an AD carry should be allowed to build AP items that allow them to go into stasis once every 90 seconds. Banana says he would have casted with me. Well, Banana, if we win this game, feel free to run in here and cast the third game with me, but we'll have to see.
Fine. I don't
Leona
need more
being
enemies.
banned out for Killenth. He is, of course, a very good Leona player, and the threat of the champion would not allow for a safer AD carry to be picked. We'll see, I guess. Senna being banned away from the St. Louis University side. They want to make sure that Bradford Love or Xanok don't get the flex around. Aphelios being locked in. Okay. This is an interesting pickup. Aphelios, interestingly enough, was actually nerfed this patch that we're currently playing on live. That means he does less damage with his Calibrum Q and with his Infernum Q and with his... you know what? Honestly, I don't remember the names of the guns. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. Choose not listening to stream, so it doesn't really matter if I say things like this. The sniper rifle and the shuriken thingy. Both of those were hard nerfed, making the champion a lot harder to play. Zaga, going through his list of jungle champions, I doubt we're going to see a Kha'Zix. More than likely we'll see an Echo. Very good lock-in there, making sure that team fights are able to go strongly. Echo scales very well. Bradford Love, okay. He might play Thresh here. That would put an interesting spin on this game because it would put Ornn in the jungle. Now that's an interesting play. We'll have to see. I don't expect the Thresh to be locked in. Okay, we do have a Thresh lock-in, boys. This is our Ornn jungle game. Here we go. We'll have to see where it goes. Could still be Nautilus jungle, but honestly, I am interested now. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. First game was Resident Sleeper as hell. Nobody cares about pick comps. What I care about is scaling comps. Give me that Ornn upgrade on Nautilus Zhonya's. Give me that Ornn upgrade on Aphelios Infinity Edge. Give me that Ornn upgrade on the Thresh Redemption. And Cassio top lane, you already know we love that. Because we love the Ornn upgrade on Deathcap. We love the Ornn upgrade on the beautiful, beautiful Abyssal Mask. Ornn jungle is quite strong because he's able to build jungle items during his clear, which means you clear 3 camps. You start red, you do Krugs, then you do Raptors. Clears pretty well. You can use 1 health potion, you're full HP. And we'll see. whether or not he decides to go for that strat and then build his second half of jungle item, then rotate up the top side of his jungle, which will allow him to clear, or sorry, he's red side, so obviously bot side of his jungle, everybody knows that, which will allow him to clear his bottom 3 camps with his jungle item, and then full build jungle item, so he gets red smite or blue smite. This game is probably looking like a red smite game, and he allows himself to go red smite into scuttle crab. So he gets to meet Zaga potentially at scuttle crab after both junglers full clear, and he will have red smite advantage, which is quite interesting. It's a very cheesy strat. We'll have to see how it goes. It allows Ornn to stay on the map as long as possible. Of course, you ask yourself, well, what do you build after Cinderhulk? The answer, you build Catalyst, of course, which allows you to spend health or mana in return for health and mana. Very, very strong. Top lane matchup, Cassio versus Mordekaiser. Cassio kites out the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser generally can't get on top of her and kill her until Mordekaiser is 6, but Cassio has enough damage, generally speaking, with Conqueror to trade back, so it's quite hard for Mordekaiser to 100 to 0 her in the Death Realm. Echo Jungle clears very quickly. Nothing much to be said about that. Zed into Nautilus. Nautilus is a very good Zed counter because he does not get one-shot by Zed, unlike most champions that do get one-shot by Zed. Also, he can very easily build a Seeker's Arm Guard, which gives him a bunch of armor for free, and also when he kills minions, gives him even more armor, plus AP stats, and Nautilus scales extremely well off of AP. Aphelios AD carry, not very safe, might go for a, I would say, stopwatch this game pretty early, just because Zed only has 2 targets on the enemy team, Cassio and Aphelios, to one-shot. But we'll have to see what he decides to go for there. Aphelios into Lucian. Lucian favored matchup. Aphelios is pretty weak early game. He scales very heavily into a mid-game, sort of later game champion. His ultimate is very strong late game, depending on what type of guns you have and what type of situation. Thresh versus Braum. Just sort of resident sleeper. Nobody cares about supports. What you care about is Lucian Braum versus Aphelios Thresh. Very Lucian Braum favored lane. That should be very, very free for them to take advantage of it and abuse the Aphelios, which is why you see the TP coming out again. However, I don't know if I agree with the TP play from Aphelios just because of the fact that the Jerbear is only going to be playing for 80 carry kills, more than likely this game. Or top lane Cassiopeia kills, but those are more than likely rare. More difficult to find, but we'll have to see. Should be interesting game. We're starting up in about 15 seconds. Go grab your water bottles. Stay hydrated, my friends. And make sure that you... well, Chu, can I talk about Red Bull? Or are we not sponsored yet? All right, make sure to grab your Red Bull cans, boys, because we are booting up into the game with our Game 2 match of St. Louis University versus University of North Texas. 1-0 for the University of North Texas so far. We'll see if the Billikens are able to bring it back in Game 2, and we'll hopefully run it through the gauntlet and play the Game 3. Ornn Jungle, everybody's surprised to see he has Spellbook, very standard. Don't worry about it. Spellbook is normal. Please don't flame. No, Spellbook is actually very normal for Ornn Jungle, just because it allows him to build Spellbook items, take Spellbook, whatever they're called, summoner spells. Ooh. And the summoner spells that he's able to pick up, the most important one, of course, being TP, which allows him to make TP flank plays and be on the top side of the map when Dragon is being taken, so he can TP down for Dragon, things like that. Little cheesy plays. We'll have to check very quickly. It looks like the nerves did wear off of Kiana, decided to finally build a mid lane Corrupting Potion level 1. We'll have to see about that one, if it's going to pay off to actually buy items at the beginning of the game. I'm just memeing, of course. Obviously, he forgot to buy items early, hit the back, but it didn't really impact anything, no big deal. No, we're not actually sponsored by Red Bull, but I'm just memeing. Don't worry about it. I want a UNT Red Bull van going around campus to support teams. Yeah, I mean, you know what I always say, Red Bull, feel free to hit us up anytime. We're here. We're out here casting. We're out here loving the game. We're out here loving the Red Bull. Just let us know, dude. Oh, look at this. Ornn is starting the exact pathing I was predicting. Who's this analyst caster? He must be very good at the game. Don't worry, guys. I'm hard stuck Diamond 4 just like the rest of us. World be set. Flick, of course, will start his W here. I hope, please. Thank you, Flick. He did start his W. It should be very even mid. The Jer Bear should be getting pushed in. Kiana able to take trades for free because the shield is broken from Nautilus. Standard. Just, you know, normal sort of starting from them. We'll see. It looks like Killenth and Proby are getting pushed in a little bit early game. The Thresh range advantage, pre-level 2 of course, quite strong. Killenth and Proby getting pushed in. Standard. Really nothing special is happening, as you'd expect for the first 2 minutes of a League of Legends game. It's not that action-packed, folks. Sorry. Can't help us with that one. Guardian gets procced. Here we go. All in coming out for the level 2. Just kidding. Both of them are hitting 2 at the same time, so nothing's going to happen more than likely. And down does go the fight because nothing happens. Who would have guessed it? Kiana taking free trades mid by just walking up and pressing W and autoing, doing 70 damage for free and taking no damage in return. Nautilus mid turns out to be pretty good. Would definitely abuse that if you're looking to climb out of your Silver Froer Romo games. Pretty strong. Why are we talking about Canes in chat? Can we please move on to the actual gameplay? Look at these kills that are happening here. Nobody cares about Canes. Stop talking about Canes in chat, you actual animals. Look at Zaire's trading. He's taking them. Look at the trading from Zaire. He's insane. Cassio's already Look at that. How are we not entertained by this? You talk about Canes in chat while that's happening? You absolute insane players. Echo coming in bot lane. Doesn't look like there's going to be a kill here, unfortunately. Thresh is able to make it out. Nice hook onto Zaga. Takes a tower shot. In does come the Ornn. Flash W. Auto attack. Knock up onto Proby. Here we go. The trade back from Killenth. Proby dashes in. Gets the kill on the Thresh. It does go down to Aphelios. 2 for 1 in favor of University of North Texas. That is an advantage for the red team. 600 gold, and Aphelios gets to push in the wave. Now that's pretty good. And now we are just spamming team names. Okay. Fine by me. Alright, looks like Killenth is trying to freeze the wave again. Although this doesn't actually do that much, it does delay the back from the Aphelios, which is actually pretty good. The Jerbear doing exactly what you'd expect him to do, which is sit mid and feel bad about the fact that he got counterpicked. It happens. Sorry, buddy. Nobody expects an Ornn jungle, I'll tell you that much. Ornn did not back, as you might have guessed, although he has not built his jungle item yet, which is a little strange. Not quite sure why, but he'll build it soon, don't worry. The top lane trades, of course, turning out pretty well for Zaire because he's manaless and he's just eating through the mana pool of Cassiopeia. Proby 1v2 bot lane for a little bit while Killenth is able to go back to base, but he's under tower, so he should not die. He has dash with the Thresh hook. Slew people, have you ever had it in and out before, though? Can we stop talking about food? Can we start talking about the gameplay? Like that Braum Q that barely missed? That's interesting to me. Not Canes, you absolute animals. Okay, so we have our Overwatch player Trotta here calling in and out overrated from his California perspective. And I have to say, Trotta, nobody cares about your privileged lifestyle. Moving on, for those of us who don't order food but care about the homebody life where we make our own food slave in, day out. Those of us who have to play the League of Legends games where we have to watch our Ornn jungle get fed early game. Ornn jungle, by the way, pretty good at doing objectives. Like, oh, who would have guessed it? Dragon, because his W does percent health damage. Let's go. Ornn takes the dragon early. As you can see, Ornn went Blue Smite. This is possibly just to allow his team to get in position more quickly. There's the Calibrium Q auto attack, which is very balanced and absolutely does not need a nerf, which is why it got nerfed. Yeah, I don't actually know, man. Green LED, I'm afraid to tell you we're not banning anybody from Twitch chat unless they say something that is inherently not allowed in Twitch chat. Talking about Canes, nobody cares. let's move on to the gameplay. As we can see, 6 minutes, 22 seconds. Your caster called it here. Ornn has TP instead of Flash. Allows him to make a Flash play early game. Doesn't have to waste the Summer Spell spot, right? Hey, pretty good. Zaga has no Flash. He's down a level and about 1 camp. Pretty standard for just being taken down. Looks like the TP flank from Ornn. Okay. Quite a greedy play, flashing from Killen to try and get the kill on Bradford Love, but he misses the Q and unfortunately does go down. Top lane ult from Zaire to make sure that he wants to 1v1 Elcan. Elcan is out of mana, and he oomed himself. Zaire flashes in, goes for the autos, bonk his ass, bop! He does go down. Easy kill for Zaire. Nice kill on the blue buff from Zaga, making sure they get kills all around the map. Now, that was actually very well played from the Ornn. They had a deep ward in bot lane, and he went for the TP flank as the wave was pushing in. Very, very well coordinated from the University of North Texas, and then a nice 1v1 kill from the top laner of St. Louis University. Really holding his own ground both games. The Ornn versus Rumble matchup, he was taking some aggressive trades as well, trying to make it work as much as possible, trying to put his team on his back and say, look, you lug-tards, I'll make sure that we can make this game. Is that word allowed on stream? It can't be a bad word, right? Come on. I'll put you guys on my backpack and we'll win this game for free. Nice unbreakable from Killens, just to make sure that Proby doesn't take as much damage. But Proby's backing anyways, it's not a big deal. Both 80 carries about even in CS and about even in kills. So actually not a very big advantage for either team. Only 100 gold lead for the University of North Texas. And interestingly enough, 2 kills on their Ornn. Now normally, in a solo queue game, you would say, perfect, I'm playing Ornn jungle, I'll carry this game, I'll build Triforce. Unfortunately, nobody does that in competitive play, so we will not see this game. More than likely, we'll see the Abyssal Mask built next item. Flick wants to give over the red buff to his mid laner, and doesn't realize he has, sorry, the blue buff to his mid laner, doesn't realize he has red, so he kills it, because Cinderhulk burns down the blue buff, and that was kind of a waste of time of their Nautilus. Oopsie. That's okay. Can't be that bad, right? Killens with the mid lane rotation. Looks like he... Oh, nice juke from Kiana on the Braum Q. Very nice backstep. Very, very strong. Here we go with some ward clearing from Zaga. Very entertaining gameplay. Zaire just abusing top lane now, trying to make sure his lead just gets cemented into the eyes of Elcan. If Zaire takes us to a game 3, Elcan's going to be a little bit afraid of that Mordekaiser. Let me tell you that much. I'll tell you why they banned it in game 1, because it is scary. That champion is being played extremely well, zoning off the lane and doing half his HP with 1 auto attack. There's the top lane roam from the Jerbear. Going to rotate more than likely back down into mid lane because he was spotted. But Elcan has to get off the tower, has no flash, and has no team. Now the team is starting to collapse around him, but they're not quite there yet. Nice ulti from Proby bot lane, just doing some trading. Thresh was going for a deep reward. The Jerbear being caught out might go down to the Miasma into the combo from Kiana. This is an ultimate from Nautilus, but he gets dragged into the death realm. 1v1 me, homie. Let's go! And the fight appears to be over already. Well, that was anticlimactic. And the hook comes in. Pull back from Zaire. Unfortunately, it's going to go down to Elcan, and that lead that he started building start to disappear very, very quickly. 1,000 gold lead for UNT. Early game starts really making it work for them. Well, again, Ornn is getting more items. Look at that Ornn build. Who would have called it? What an aggressive build from Ornn, building the Catalyst. It's like the caster was able to see into the future, which I am not able to do, by the way. I'm just predicting the fact that he plays Ornn jungle, and everybody plays it the same way, because everybody watches LS is Ornn jungle. Nice stun in from Zaga. No flash on Elcan. No ultimate on Elcan. This should be a free kill and a free Dark Harvest stack for Zaga. Trying to make those challenger plays make it work. Let's go. In, kill in for Zaga. They're going to push in the wave. Elcan has TP coming up, but is not quite up yet, so maybe they'll be able to get a plate off of this. 3 plates left on top tower, 4 left on bot tower for St. Louis University, and 5 for both mid laners. So plates are pretty even across the map, with the exception, of course, of top lane, in which the CS lead is 12. Quite a smash from Zaire trying his best to just absolutely win this game. Dragon being taken down on spawn by UNT. They really want to make sure that they can win this game. 20 CS lead from the Jerbear, has to flash the hook. Very nice blind hook flash. The Ocean Dragon, which of course is incredibly powerful on tankier comps like the one that UNT is running, but also incredibly powerful on champions like Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser can more than likely 1v9 if he has the Ocean Dragon Soul. So there has to be play around the Ocean Dragon coming up soon. This is going to be a fight over the Rift Herald. Zaga goes in very quickly, can just easily ult out, and he does. Zaire appears to be going down to the Nautilus. He's taken out behind. Jerbear goes in, is able to one-shot the Aphelios. Zedpick coming in clutch, and the Nautilus appears to be going down as well. The Jerbear might be able to pick up some more kills, make himself a little bit stronger this game, and suddenly the kills go in favor of St. Louis University. They took an outnumbered fight and won that one. What a strange turn of events. Now, part of the reason why it didn't work that well from the UNT squad was that the Ornn ultimate wasn't able to do as much work as he wanted it to do. Zaire obviously didn't ult him, but the inability for them to be able to save the Aphelios is huge, especially since the Jerbear was able to ult onto Aphelios and flash onto him after getting Aphelios flash. Thresh really isn't that useful in general in that sort of situation. I was unable to peel his AD carry very well against Zed. And of course, Nautilus, as much work as he did do, kind of hard to play Nautilus versus a champion like Echo, in which the sort of knockback, peel, running status that Nautilus is able to give himself kind of doesn't exist against Echo because of his mobility. Zaga might go down to the Gromp camp. We'll see. He does take it down. He does not die, which is probably the more important part of that. Lilith using his Demolish and take the plate. Should be noted he did not take Quantum Life. Nice little lantern away from the UNT squad. They might be able to win a fight up in top lane, but the biggest problem is if Zaire puts, excuse me, this name again, Sonic in a cage, he's probably gonna die. There comes the root from the Gravitum gun, and bot lane both look like they're backing out into 3v2 just to make sure that they don't die. The Jerbear is pushing mid, just trying to get more pressure on the map, but he's having a 4-man rotation run into him. This might be bad for him. Hopefully he doesn't get taken down. We'll have to see. And he is going to live, which is very good. Rift Herald being summoned top post 14 minutes, which is the important part, which means that plates will not be going down in favor of St. Louis University. Here we go. There might be a fight in the top lane. Thrush Hook misses. The Aphelios sitting in the bush. The Thrush Flame misses. The hook down from the Nautilus onto the Zed. Zed ports away. He might be able to come back to Shadow. Zaga is able to port out, while the ultimate from Zaire is able to come down onto the Casio. Dodges the Q. 1-2. Smack him in the face. Bop! She does go down. The Gravitum root. Zaga does not have ultimate. He will be going down very quickly in this fight. Is unable to proc the Echo passive in order to move more quickly. Does get hit by the Nautilus hook and does get shut down very quickly in that fight. Here we go from the Lucian just pushing in mid to make sure that they're able to get more pressure on the map while Zaga was able to draw them away from the mid lane. There's a stun here onto the Nautilus, but no play is available due to the orange showing up for safety. Here we go. We'll have to see what happens on the map, but a 1,500 gold lead for St. Louis University, which is a nice flip around from last game, based on the fact that last game they were down 4,000 gold at this point. Not very good. Valios pathing into bot lane to make sure he catches the wave that's crashing into the tower. Casio going top, and the rest of the map just sort of rotating around. You're looking at Horn again. Built an adaptive helm here. Nice Q from Killen, ulti from Killen, trying to get the 1v1 kill. The greedy support flashes in, goes for the Q, hits the stun under tower. The Jerbear is going to take the ignite, auto attack. The Jerbear might be going down to tower. He does go down to tower. Unfortunate for him, gets hit by the Nautilus Q. Nautilus was able to live with 1 HP off of the auto attack. Zed passive not doing enough damage, and he is unable to survive that. Unfortunately, the 1-for-1 does get the flash out of Nautilus, however. Good, important summoner spell timing that St. Louis University might be able to hold on to. Vision control trying to be established around Dragon, because 3 Drake, of course. Flash in from the Ornn. Nice dodge out from Proby. Good flash as well. Proby trying to put on the fancy feet just to make sure he lives there. No flash on the Ornn right now. And he does get chunked to half HP. That is an important cooldown from the Ornn, but more important from the Lucian. The double Calibrum turrets being set up in the bush makes sure that he's able to take the Dragon more clearly. But here comes the no Braum shield. Ornn ultimate hits nobody. The Miasma's down. There might be a turn here. The Jerbear's flanking. He gets the ultimate off on the Ornn. Flashes backwards. Exhaust goes down onto him. He dies instantly, but they get a 2-for-1. Echo is able to trade back onto the Cassiopeia. The ultimate from Zaire comes out. Very good play to make sure that he is able to 1v1 the Nautilus, which he appears to be able to do. And the Dragon will be taken down in favor of St. Louis University. No 3 Drake at this point in the game for the UNT squad. Very good play from St. Louis U. Very scary that Killens was unable to hold on to the Braum shield there, but it wound up working very well because the Ornn ultimate managed to go right in between the bowling pins, which is always lovely. It looks like bot lane tower is going to be taken down here, and there is going to be a push in mid lane. Echo is quite strong right now, based on the fact that he's been able to pick up a bunch of kills in these random team fights, so you have to watch out for him as a threat. Nautilus is down in CS. Aphelios is down 1 CS. Massive lead in the bot lane. I'm kidding mostly, but the fact that there is able to be a small lead. Aphelios actually has a lead. That lead is built off of the 4 CS and more than likely tower gold, tower plate gold, things like that. I expected a lead for the Lucian. I guess I was wrong. Lead in the jungle of about 900. That's pretty standard. Tank versus carry jungler. Carry jungler tends to be able to get ahead. And a almost 2,000 gold lead in the top lane, just tearing him to make sure that he's able to pull out a lead there. Zaire just trying his best to put the team on his back and say, hey, look, guys, quit being boosted. We can win this one. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Zaire's been to San Diego before. He really wants it. He looks like he really, really wants it. This man is going hard. It's like 2 hours from home from Trotta, he does say. Well, Trotta, not all of us live in California. I have actually never been west of St. Louis University, I think. Well, no, I mean west of like maybe West County, Missouri. Esports varsity trip, let's go. So yeah, exactly. That would be cool actually to go to LA with Trotta. Yeah, go to LA with Trotta, go to all of the cool, I assume that there's a lot of Asian food in LA. That's pretty standard. So as we all know, weebs love Asian food. The hook misses. Don't hit the blind hook there. It's a bit unlucky. Rift Herald's being taken down by St. Louis University. This is, of course, Shirley, not Shelly. So this is Rift Herald number 2, does more damage to towers, and does spawn later in the game, right before Baron spawns, actually about 30 seconds before Baron does spawn. This ultimate from Ornn is a little bit greedy, gets blocked entirely by the Braum. There really wasn't anything there. The Jerbear looks like he's going to be taken down. Gets hit by the Aphelios ultimate, does ultimate to dodge it, but dies instantly to Xanok. That champion might still be broken, maybe on trolling, but nice dodge out there from Killen on the Fresh hook after the Nautilus hook does hit. Got a lot of hookers in this, hook champions in this game. The Siege mid lane to try to take down the wave, but with Saga's Runic Echoes and Zaire's ability to press Q on the wave for free, it looks like nobody will die. So that is always good to see from the side of St. Louis University. It is currently 12-10 with a approximately 3,000 gold lead in favor of St. Louis U. But St. Louis U does not have the scaling comp this time around. They have the early game assassin champ. Aphelios does scale pretty well. Same with Lucian. Oh, the Nautilus ult comes out. Braum does block. Nice Braum ultimate. Cassio gets one shot. Wow, she got absolutely annihilated. Zaire does take the Aphelios into the death realm, but does live. Wow. Looks like the Aphelios auto was canceled after coming out of Death Realm. Nice flash in from the Jerbear. Does one-shot the Aphelios afterwards. Interesting interactions coming out there. And so we had a few interesting interactions there. We had the knock-up coming in from Braum, which hits the Thresh first and then hits the Cassiopeia, interrupting her, allowing her to get hit by Zaga's Parallel Convergence, which does stun and does one-shot the Cassiopeia. As you can see, he is running a Dark Harvest Echo. one shot, 1000 AP build coined by NightBlue3 himself. Takedown of Shirley, sad to see it. And unfortunately, the Aphelios Q with his sniper form, which allows him to auto-attack anywhere on the map and fire with both his primary and his secondary weapon at an enemy. That auto-attack looked like it was cancelled by moving in and out of Death Realm. Death Realm does change how projectiles work, so if you cast something like a Riven Ultimate, it can be cancelled by going into Death Realm. Same token, coming out of Death Realm, that ability will only exist in the Death Realm plane. Therefore, the auto attack did not actually follow through and kill Zaire. That was an incredibly close fight. But it looks like St. Louis U does have the 5-kill lead and about 5,000 gold lead after that, with the 2 towers pushed in mid after Shirley. And the pressure of Dragon. I apologize for the loud sound there. Looks like St. Louis U wants to take this Dragon down. That's going to even out the Dragon score and allow for a threat of a 3, potentially 4 Drake, which would give Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul is one of the strongest souls in the game and one of the strongest souls on St. Louis U's comp. Looks like St. Louis U is booking it over to the Baron because they're concerned about Baron being started. They don't have any vision. But as you can see from our infinite vision that we have of the map, Baron's not even being started. So St. Louis U was a lot more worried about UNT than UNT was really willing to make that call or commit to that. Zaire is just roaming up the map. This is really important to note as well. Farsight trinkets, also known as blue trinkets, have a lot more value when it's Ocean Soul, based on the fact that Ocean Soul has more, or sorry, Ocean Map, because Ocean Map has more bushes, and you can put a lot more little trinkets in the bushes, and people won't walk into the bushes as often. And Pink Ward's hold more value because obviously they have permanent vision as well in the bushes and allow you to see whether or not other people have vision of those exact bushes that you'll be playing around. But we're just kind of waiting for the team fights right now. These are both team fight comps. Zaire is able to pick somebody 1v1, but more than likely that's not going to happen. Looks like both teams are just going to go for the team fights. The Jerbear is going to go after Aphelios. Aphelios is going to run like a little baby. Thresh is going to use exhaust on him, and the Jerbear is going to get one shot. You know, these things will happen as the fight progresses. We did see an instance of Aphelios gameplay earlier. As we will remember, the Jerbear was hit by an Aphelios Q with the sniper rifle form. Got one tapped and then hit by the Aphelios R and immediately died afterwards as well. So they do have to be very cautious of this. Nice pull in from Zaire, good trade. It looks like the Nautilus was sent to deal with the Mordekaiser. This is actually very interesting. They opted to take TP on Akali the first game, but Ignite on Nautilus the second game. Nautilus, of course, having less kill pressure than Akali does, especially into an Akali versus Cassio matchup, in which there is a lot of kill pressure. It looks like Baron is being started by St. Louis U. More than likely, they'll have to pull off of it very quickly based on the fact that wards have been dropped, and there is hard engage from the side of the University of North Texas. Here we go. Zaire is pushing bot lane. Maybe there will be a 2v1 bot. We'll have to see what happens. Looks like Zaire does finally see the Cassio around the corner. This might spell Baron from St. Louis U. We'll have to see. It's all Baron damage right now from St. Louis U's comp is not very clear. I think the only Baron damage that St. Louis U has is the % health damage that comes from Echo's W passive, as well as the fact that they have a lot of shred from Proby. This is blocking the Braum, using the Braum shield to block the Horn ultimate. Pretty standard, that's why you pick the champion. Again, I mentioned it, champion select. You have the counterplay to just throw up the Unbreakable, and boom, down it does go. Look at the Farsight trinket being used in the bush. I'm not quite sure why it was used there. They did see Zaire in lane, Baron being started back up again, but I don't know if Zaga has noticed, but the ward over the back of the pit is spotting his Q, the Time Winder, over the wall. Velios is actually helping Baron damage and keeping it leashed. Baron gets stopped at about 4.5k. TP in from Zaire. He starts sauntering forwards. Looks like it was not, everybody was not on the same page. Zaire TP's in so that he's able to make sure that the Horn doesn't get into the pit, but ultimates the Thresh instead. One shot to Thresh takes him out, and Zaire gets instantly one tapped afterwards. Looks like Jerbear does go down, and so does... No! The Aphelios goes down too! This is an incredible fight from St. Louis University off the back of Zaire, who takes 2 for 1 in the middle of the team. That was quite a play. Zaga has to play a little safe. Obviously does not have the ultimate, and Proby does not either. Proby has both some. Casio still has ultimate, so they have to play very carefully around the Cassiopeia. Scaling is starting to come in. We are about 10 minutes away from when the game should be over for St. Louis U. If they do not end the game within the next 10 minutes, scaling from Horn will come in, and it will be terrifying. Horn is still level 11, of course, so scaling is still 2 levels out. You still aren't able to upgrade any items on Aphelios, because he's not level 13, but also because Aphelios doesn't have any Horn items yet. He's building into Infinity Edge. The Thresh built a Zeke's, doesn't have a Locket, doesn't have a Redemption. Top lane has no Ornn items. Mid lane has a Zonius. That's it. So hopefully the UNT draft will also be able to play around itemization with the Ornn. A lot of people don't value Ornn itemization as highly, so they are very caught. Oh, here we go. The Jerbear gets hit by the Nautilus ultimate. Nice Braum shield to interrupt all follow-up. No Braum shield for the Ornn ultimate now. The Ornn ultimate comes out. The Time Winder hits the full team. The Aphelios ult gets used one shot onto the AD carry of St. Louis University, and the Mordekaisers are starting to tear people in the middle of the fight. No ultimate for the Mordekaiser just yet. Pulls in the Nautilus, is able to stun him and beat him down. Nice. Zonia's in. Zaga's able to come in on the side, one-shot the Cassiopeia. Ultimate from the Mordekaiser just smacks down the Aphelios, and the team fight is won 5-for-2 in favor of St. Louis University after their AD carry was caught out in one tap at the beginning of the fight. That is surprising. Now I am curious, I think Killen should be pushing mid with Zaga because Killen has Demolished and doesn't really contribute that much to the dragon damage. Of course, Zaga having a lot of AP, playing Echo, is able to just tear through towers. So they should be able to take this tower. They should not be able to take the inhibitor. They'll just back out here. Maybe they'll go for the inhib. This is quite a greedy play, but we'll see. Okay, they did take the inhibitor. Zaga made the call. Challenger player, look at what I know. I'm just a Diamond 4 player. Very nice team fight, though, from St. Louis University. Proby has to be a little bit more careful with getting one shot. That was quite terrifying what happened to him there. What happened was he got hit by a Thresh hook into the miasma and just died instantly, unable to use any ability. Of course, QSS, as you all know, does not help on miasma, so please don't use it on miasma. Now you're looking at this and you're saying, uh-oh, what are teams going to do now? Well, there's no Baron out. So Baron's obviously not going to be pressured. We're probably looking at the 4-minute break time and thinking that's where the team fights are going to be held around, and you'd be correct on that. But we'll see. Team fights can also be held around Vision, looking for a pick, looking for jungle objectives, so things like red buff, and overstaying. Things like if Zaire decided he wanted to push top for no reason and die, which is very possible, but improbable. We'll see what happens. With the mid lane inhibitor going down, it means that St. Louis University is able to play around top lane. Top lane a little bit more clearly. And as we all know, the inhibitor timer is about 5 minutes, which is the same timer as the dragon. So after inhibitor comes up, dragon will be up beforehand, which means that St. Louis University will be able to pressure dragon while mid lane super minions are pushing in. Zaire is taking blue buff. Mid laner doesn't necessarily need it, so they're able to take it and give it over to the Mordekaiser just for a little bit more gold, a little bit more cooldown reduction. Obviously, Zaire has cooldown reduction. He has about 20%, based on the fact that he has the Spirit Visage plus the Zonia's combo over here. Spirit Visage giving 10% cooldown, and Zonia's giving 10% cooldown. It looks like we're looking at itemization here, just a general gold graph lead. Actually a deficit, interestingly enough, in the mid lane from the Jerbear, but I think that tends to be pretty standard. He's been getting focused very heavily in these team fights. He got counterpicked. They have the exhaust, obviously, on the side of UNT, and more importantly, he hasn't been able to CS that easily because Zed doesn't build Tiamat. So pushing waves on Zed is a lot harder than pressing E on Nautilus and one-tapping a wave, which of course is very, very easy. Okay, what are we looking at? Zaire the GOAT? Yes, he's carrying. I'm scared that MR item Brad is going to turn into Mikhail's. Are we going to see a Mikhail's? It looks like Thresh has a QSS, which is pretty smart. Hopefully the St. Louis University comp has, or team has decided to press tab and look at the different itemization on different champions. So I think that they'll be able to say, oh look, Thresh has Mikhails, or Thresh has QSS rather. He's not going to be able to get Mordekaiser ulti, which would be correct. It also should be noted, Mikhails, from my recollection, does not stop suppression, so it should not work on Mordekaiser ulti. So if he built Mikhails for himself, it wouldn't work, and you also can't Mikhails your teammates. You could time it perfectly, and it might go off, but I don't believe it would remove them from Death Realm anyway. So I don't think that that would be the right play to build a Mikhails. It looks like St. Louis University is actually playing around the Baron spawn. Everybody jumps over the wall. It looks like the zoning duty will be given to Zaire. He is sitting in the bush topside. That's quite a greedy play, actually. Let's see if he's able to ult the Ornn. He'll probably die for it if he wants to go for the play. He's just kind of backing out. Almost gets hit by a hook. Flash over the wall from the Ornn, but doesn't manage to make it in. Ornn ultimate coming out. Echo ultimate comes out early. I'm dying over here. I apologize. The Mordekaiser gets knocked up early, is unable to ultimate. Ultimates the Aphelios, but does die in the Death Realm. It does look like St. Louis U wins the fight on the top side, and Nautilus is dead as well, but it is a 1-for-1. The base is being shredded by super minions. They have to stop the backs, but the backs have to come through from UNT. They cannot stay here. They are losing the game to super minions. It looks like the Braum has been taken down in the fight. Aphelios takes 2, gets the Echo. The one shot from Echo, he does take down the Aphelios. Never mind, I apologize for the call out there. The back in the back of the pit from both of the tanks, but I don't know if it's enough. The Jerbear might be able to stop them. He doesn't spot them. He is unable to see them and does let them through. But more importantly, 5 seconds on the Ocean Dragon. That is Ocean Dragon Soul Fordrake coming in. We'll have to see if they manage to win this game off of the Fordrake Soul. Here comes the Thresh Ornn combo trying to make it in. The Ornn might walk right into the parallel convergence, gets hit by the Time Winder. He obviously does not die. Ornn is quite tanky at this point in the game. Has Warmogs, has his Abyssal Mask, has his Cinderhulk, so he's not going to die very easily. Nice sweeper from Zaga to make sure that they clear out the vision. The Jerbear making sure as well. The Jerbear's itemization, I personally like. Oh, never mind. The team fight's coming in. Here comes the fight. Zaga's been hit by a hook. He does not get the ultimate off, and he does go down. Looks like there's not going to be a Fordrake here after all. Here comes the Jerbear to look for the steal. They do get it with the Braum Q! Okay, there's the Ocean Soul onto the side of St. Louis University. Killeth making sure he knows that he missed the Braum Q early game, but it doesn't matter. He'll get that Ocean Soul real quick. Give me your sister, he types in chat. Angry, angry man. Wow, that is quite a play from Killeth, making sure he shows up big time in these types of games. Wow. Let it be noted that ROM Q might have cost UNT $20,000. This will have to find. Nice pull in from Zaire. The QSS has been used early. That means the Death Realm can be popped. No, the Death Realm was used. The QSS was perfect. The stun from the Braum. That's more kills in the jungle. They're going to kill the Nautilus as well. The Stone Plate has been popped on Nautilus. He might be able to survive. Pops the Zonias. But there's nobody around. He's surrounded by 4 St. Louis U. He's gonna go down, and the Ocean Soul is pouring in dividends. Full HP St. Louis U members are able to take the fight, push it into the base, and they might be able to end the game here. We'll have to see. Baron buff push, Ocean Soul push. You couldn't ask for anything more in the fight. Is that legal? You bet it's legal. Here we go. Pushing in from the Lucian. This is it. This is the fight. This will end the game right here. 10 seconds on the Thresh, 10 seconds on Aphelios, 20 seconds on Nautilus. Cassiopeia, 1v9 player. Cassio misses the ultimate, is unable to stun the Echo. The push in from Echo, they're focusing towers. The call is tower, tower, tower. Push in. The QSS from Cassio on top of the Mordekaiser. It looks like nobody's going to die. Oh, down does go the Ornn. Rush might go down. Aphelios goes down inside the fountain. Cassio's 1 HP under fountain. Push in, and down does go the Nexus. St. Louis University winning game 2, pulling it back to a 1-1, 32-18, 35 minutes in. What a game from St. Louis University, able to pull it out clutch. Early game was a little scuffed, just like this stream, but you already know, baby. We pull it back. We make it work. The energy levels, we make it work. Let's go!
I respect it. Good teams, good plays. Can I get a let's go in chat, please? Let's friggin' go. All right, boys. This is it. We're waiting for the game to start back up again. Thank you all for being here for the stream. Please go grab some water. Please stay hydrated. Remember Red Bull sponsorship. If you want it, feel free to hit us up. We love Red Bull. Honestly, anything. It's okay. It's not gold. I said, let's go. Please don't disrespect my Canadian accent. Let's go. It's a good play. It's a good play. I respect it. Both teams played extremely well. St. Lucie was able to pull out the win with their team comp able to one-shot the Aphelios enough that he just sort of was unable to play the game. Very well played from the Jerbear, and we will see. I will pull you guys back in when we are ready to go into Champ Select. Thank you all for being here with us, and music is on in the background. We love you all.
This is your moment. Now is
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near.
It's deep in their bones, they'll run into smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, guys. Legends never die. Legends never die. Legends never die. Legends never die.
Legends never die.
Here we go, boys, for game number 3. This one's for all of the proverbial marbles. St. Louis University going up against University of North Texas. Let us please have a good luck and have fun, as they say. Have a good game, good clean game, no flaming each other's sisters. I apologize for all of you that came in to the stream to watch and randomly got hit by an ad from SLU's esports director, Chu. That was not my intention. I told him not to, and he hit you with an ad anyway, so I apologize to those of you who had to deal with that. I'm sorry.
You're scared.
Are you gifting
Good to know.
them to e-girls around the world? Inspiration, please. Chat is supposed to be used for loving comments that matter, not stuff that's horrifying. Elcan is obviously banning, of course, so you have blue side draft this time. You have Elcan in the top lane, Flick in the jungle, Kiana playing mid lane, Zanok as the AD carry, and Bradford Love as the support for the University of North Texas. St. Louis University, you have YH Zaire playing top lane, Zaga in the jungle, the Jer Bear in mid lane, Proby in AD carry, and Killen as support. You have the 3-ban from the UNT squad, which was, of course, Yasuo, Renekton, and Nunu. 3 pretty standard bans that they've been running in every game. Mordekaiser first pick by Elcan. And the 3-ban from St. Louis University was Rek'Sai this time around instead of the Olaf. Lucian, which is a Triflex, and Akali, which has been abused pretty hard by the Kiana mid laner for the University of North Texas. Lock in on the Kled against the Mordekaiser. Wow, Zaire really wants to take it into the 1v1 cage. He knows he wants this matchup. Last game, he was able to solo kill his lane opponent. The game before, he was pressuring quite hard against the Rumble, so maybe Elcan will be able to make this work with more strategic gameplay, playing with his TB, but it looks like, from the perspective of the casters, who are not biased, that it might be a top difference. But then again, they did have the counter pick, so who knows, right? Alright, let me see this. League client sounds too loud. I apologize about that. Just a little bit too loud. I don't know if I can do much about that. I like St. Louis U rocks, but St. Louis sucks. It's okay, we roast STL2, flame me. Brandon W. Smith, you're a moron. Stop typing in chat. Why is Owen casting? Because nobody else has the cojones to get here, creep. And you can call me Plumbear on stream, please. Let's use my official title. That's why I have one. I'll post my Twitter handle later. I'm actually going to pop the Twitter page. Up next, we have the Zaya and Jarvan picks. Zaya, of course, being banned out the second game by St. Louis University, and picked up the first game by Zanok. Quite a proficient Zaya player, was able to carry quite hard on that champion. And Jarvan the fourth, being picked up by Flick. I like to call Jarvan Baby's first jungler because he's incredibly easy to play. And Senna being picked up by Proby. Okay, rather than adapting to the ban phase in which they banned Senna. The first game and the second game around, second game, they banned it in second round rotation as 4B ban.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
But, or 4A ban, ban on the blue side, or A side, right?
instead they pick it, which is quite a nice adaptation. So more than likely, Leona jungle, Senna AD carry, but after seeing the Ornn, Nautilus, and Cassio Triflex that they pulled off last game, who knows where any of these champions will be going. Maybe it's Jarvan mid. We will have to see. Morgana banned out, pretty standard against Leona.
Are you certain?
Though the lane is kind of boring. More fun this way if you let that champion get banned.
We will
And long ban from
lose.
St. Louis University just to make sure that Kiana is not able to pick up any counterpick champions to a lot of really strong champs that we like to run from our mid laner. I think it sets up for a Cassio pick if you're banning. There it is. Caster Collins. And the Echo and Elise bans, meaning that they really wanted to target down St. Louis University's Zaga. There's not really a way for them to pick the only available jungler that's pretty strong right now. The standard go-to would be Olaf here. And there's not a way to get rid of Olaf right now. So we'll have to see. Nautilus comes in as a pick. That could be Nautilus support, or it could be Nautilus mid. Still flexible, but they'll have to find out what flex they want to roll with. And Orianna into the Cassiopeia, which is pretty standard with the ball delivery comp. You have Jarvan Orianna, you dunk somebody, and then you hit them with a ball, pound them. Now they do go. But we'll have to see if they decide to go for that. Kiana, of course, likes playing more aggressive mid laners. But locking in the Orianna. Okay. And the last pick in from Killen, we'll have to see what St. Louis University decides to go for. Will be their jungle pick. Probably not Rengar, if I were to take a guess. Olaf would be kind of standard. But I don't know how good it is into the Jarvan, the fourth. So, let's get a little bit of a breakdown of top to bot from the side of UNT. Then we'll do top to bot from St. Louis University. Then we'll do matchups, and then we will do feelings, expectations, and emotions. Let's get some Twitch chat emotes in here, please. Here we go. What's good, gamers? Looks like we got quite a popping Twitch chat. It is 1-1, yes. Stream scuffed, so I won't have anything on screen about it. So first off, top to bot. Mordekaiser, Jarvan, Orianna, Xayah, Nautilus. Mordekaiser is a strong champion in lane, scales pretty well. Jarvan scales as a tank, does not scale as an attack damage jungler. Please do not build warrior. If you're playing at a Diamond 4 elo or above, your champion will not scale. Orianna, quite a strong champion, scales. Probably shouldn't be running Ignite. I don't know why she is. Okay, looks like she's running Ignite. That will be very strange. Will not have a TP. Will have a TP. Okay, switched at the last minute. Good. Smart call. Never want to run Ignite on Orianna when you're playing into a matchup like Cassio. Xayah, Nautilus, again, the TP on Xayah really favors that for the laning phase. And Nautilus is quite a strong champion, scales fairly well, will be able to build a stone plate as an early game support, and will more than likely have a Zeke's Convergence. Won't be able to keep his Xayah. Alright, well, I'm hearing client audio is too loud. Here you go, Twitch chat. You happy now? I hope you're happy, okay? How does that feel? How does that feel? All right, Twitch chat, give me some thumbs up if it feels good and thumbs down if it feels bad. All right, Kled top. Strong champion, scales decently, good engage. You just press R, run at people. Olaf, same champion, basically. Yeah, it's better, feels good, man. Thank you, Banana. Appreciate it. Ayaya, thank you. So Cassio mid as Jerbear, pretty standard champion that he's played first game. Didn't get his hands on second game, and obviously third game he will be playing it here again. Very proficient Cassiopeia player. Won't be getting one shot by Akali this time, so maybe he has a little bit more of a chance to be useful in team fights. Senna bot lane, I would say early game Senna is quite weak. Doesn't have the ability to engage with Leona as easily, but still is quite strong. So hopefully they'll be able to make it work. And Leona, of course, being one of the strongest supports in the game right now. Xayah versus Senna. Xayah, Nautilus versus Senna, Leona. Caster scuffed? Please no. It hurts. Kled versus Mordekaiser. Kled favorite matchup. Able to beat the crap out of Mordekaiser.
Olaf versus Jarvan. Olaf favored matchup early game. Jarvan's able to dunk him and sort of leave him in the cage solo. He won't be able to do anything during team fights. That's the goal. Ori versus Cassio, both scale. It's really probably never going to be a solo kill matchup. If it is, Cassio's going to kill Orianna. Orianna's never going to kill Cassiopeia. If that happens, the Jer Bear is not playing properly. And Xayah Nautilus versus Senna Leona. Senna Leona pretty much always plays better. Usually they have a stronger scale, but the problem is that Xayah Nautilus is quite strong in terms of burst damage, so they'll make it work. Yeah. Feels good. We'll just wait out the 20 seconds. Please go grab a glass of water. Please drop some ayayas in chat, and we will enjoy our time here as the next game goes through. Drop in the chat so I can read it. Go. Thought the stream was lagging. My computer CPU is running at 8 gigahertz. FML. 0.8. Oh, that's not as much fun. All right, boys, here it comes. Trada, can you go grab my water bottle so I don't die during team fights? Thank you so much. It's the one that's blue on the table. We have a scuffed setup here, so I don't have a water fountain right next to me. All right, so setup should be, thank you, sir. Setup should be pretty simple from both teams. Only thing worth noting is Orianna did go airy, as opposed to something like Phase Rush into Olaf. Phase Rush is pretty good into Olaf. Stops his ability to slow you. Both top laners to Conqueror, Balance Rune. Both junglers to Conqueror, Balance Rune. Conqueror mid lane, XP. Proby took Glacial Augment, which is actually very standard for the Senna. It looks like there's going to be a 5-man top lane run it down style comp that they're going to run at level 1 against the Kled of Zaire. Hopefully Zaire does not get hit with a Nautilus hook here. He would go down very quickly. We will see Nautilus starts walking in. Zaire is able to path away. Here comes the Nautilus. No Q from Nautilus. There is no play that will be made. And that was just badly coordinated, I think, from the UNT squad. Could have been played better. Allows for deep wards for sure from the blue team here from UNT. But both sides are able to get the deep wards. 2 wards from red side onto the Raptor camp and onto the red buff camp. I apologize for the time here. I'll turn that off. And I will turn on the objective timers. So we are able to have a little bit more fun with being able to call out dragons. All right, 10 seconds till buff spawn. It looks like there's going to be a 4-man rotation of bot side jungle just to make sure that nobody's sitting in here going for kills. They're going to all walk over the wards here in about 2, 1. They're walking in now. They start the buff a little bit late. And mid lane is currently missing is what you're saying, which I think is fair. All right, Twitch chat. Here we go. Both teams have eyes on jungle. Olaf tends to path a little bit more strongly than Jarvan. Jarvan is going to be pretty strong in terms of his ability to gank top, which is what he wants to do early game. Zaga, as you can see, actually tanked all of the camps that Jarvan will be pathing to. And Jarvan appears to be pathing to all of those camps. So that is quite an interesting read from the might-be-washed challenger jungler, question mark. We'll have to see as the game goes on. Proby's using a lot of analytics to clear the wave here, just to make sure that they don't get level 2 all as easily. Here comes the hook onto Leona, but it doesn't look like Leona will take that much damage. Proby gets a stack of Senna Souls for the health bar of Killenth, but that's okay. It's she's never gonna die. Not a big deal. Just CS is crashing into tower, and we'll pull up the scoreboard here just to make sure that we're able to see CS values and so forth and so on. So it should be noted that it's I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused. I got a note from my executive chief here, Mr. Chu, and I wasn't sure where it meant. Oh, the humans from Zaire, but that's okay. He's able to do quite a bit of damage to top lane. Zaga walks in, shows himself, walks out. Pretty standard. It looks like there is going to be no plays anywhere on the map for Jarvan. Kind of just farming right now. He's up about 3. Looks like he's up about 1 camp, so 4 CS.
it's 4 CS per camp, obviously. So you're looking at 16 to 12. Saga did 3 camps. Jarvan did 4. It's not a big discrepancy in level right now. What comes up is the Scuttle Crab. Looks like there actually is an attempted bot lane dive. Brandy Low flashes in. He's going to get instantly stunned. There might be a kill onto the Nautilus, but it's traded 1-for-1. Nice stun again from Killen. That's going to be a 2-for-1. Killen, bloodthirsty support, winds up with 2 kills. Nice miasma mid lane. Killen is trying to trade back, trying to take down this 80 carry. Remember, she has no heal. She's stunned under tower. She took a tower shot. She's going down. Killen with a 3-kill Leona start at 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Fighting in the top lane. Looks like Zaire might be able to know he's going to live for free. In comes Zaga. He finds the Leon. He finds the Orianna. She tries to path back in quite greedily. Flashes on top of her. A little bit of spectator delay. She should go down very, very easily. It's going to be a 4-1 start from St. Louis University. The tempo lead is picking up quite heavily. Zaire is able to box out the enemy Mordekaiser as he just takes the easy trades. He's at about 99. Right there it is. He queues right up onto his mount. Scarl comes back in. Nice block there from the Xanath 80 carry from UNC. Proby's just able to pop his E and run out with the Spectral, whatever that's called. Sorry, I don't know names. Miss there from Proby's W, which is the Spectral something else. And the root does not land. Obviously, the root will proc instantly if it kills the minion. It was unable to kill the minion, so it had an activation time. Killen is able to find the angle, gets the flash out of the 80 carry. Zaga's just chilling out bot lane, and channels his recall after flashing the dab emote with his sunglasses. Caster throwing? How am I throwing? Look, I've been casting solo for 2 games. If we had just 2-0'd, I wouldn't be here right now, okay? My voice would sound a whole lot better. I'm sorry, guys. I have no duo here. I have been left alone because Banana decided he didn't want to help me today. That's okay. No flame. No flame. I'm not angry. I'm just sad. It looks like Leona was able to pick up the early game Moby boots, which is quite good. Obviously, she's able to get more rotation in mid lane and into river, which gives jungle way more pressure. So early game is off to a smashing start from St. Louis University. 300 gold lead, but the gold is being counterbalanced back in the jungle, which is actually down 100, and 80 carry, which is up quite a bit of CS and a kill, obviously. And a lot of the gold is on Leona, so if Leona's able to make fights work, maybe they'll kills. Nice rotation mid lane from the Leona with the aftershock coming in. Isn't going to take that much damage to the tower. Top lane fight in which Zaire was just able to walk away because Kled is the balanced champion. Looks like they want the Jer Bear to be able to get it back in. Zaire almost cancels the recall of the Jarvan with his bear trap on a rope. Is unable to do so, blind in the bush. And it looks like Dragon will be started by Zaga because they did see the top lane Jarvan the 4th. I'm not quite sure why Jarvan is going for gigs onto Kled at this point, because Kled obviously does have flash, does have dismount. There was no Mordekaiser ult for that play, and Jarvan doesn't have ult or even his flash, so there's absolutely no way that fight is ever going to turn out beneficial for him. It looks like the itemization is actually quite heavily in favor of the Mordekaiser right now, so he kind of wants to fight because he has the Seeker's Arm Guard advantage over just the No Magic Mantle plus Longsword start, which is a lot less strong. Both junglers have equal items and are equal level. No, it looks like Zaga is actually up a level. My apologies. Mid lane is pretty even, but there is something worth noting, which is Orianna has stunted her build path with a Doran's Ring second. And buying 2 Doran's Ring is honestly a very good start in low elo because you're able to abuse lane push and abuse the fact that you have a stronger laning phase. But against the Cassiopeia, you're never going to outpush her, especially when she has tier. And also, Cassiopeia is not really going to 100-0 you, so the extra 60 HP is not really going to make that big of a difference. You're probably going to get ganked with your lack of flash or die anyway. The 60 HP it's the fact that she no longer has gold to spend on her looting. It's 400 gold down. Essentially what's happening here is Cassio. Oh, the flash in from Cassio go for the 1v1 kill, and he does get it. Jerbear does go down, but if the wave is able to be pushed in, it looks like that will actually be an advantage for the side of Jerbear, quite possibly. Nice play from the side of Kled in order to take that fight. Good kill back from bot lane, 1-for-1. Nice knockup from the Jarvan, good TP in just to make sure that the Leona survives. That is absolutely instrumental. Leona, of course, making massive shutdown right now. Is blocked in, body block from the
Nautilus on the Kled ultimate, and it looks like Kled will be able to get out. No, he does not take a tower shot and does wind up with double buffs. Nice TP down. Obviously, the TP advantage was kept top lane, as we did see the TP for the... Oh, it looks like they actually want to attempt a dive here. Oh, unfortunate play for the Leona. Gives 700 gold over to the Nautilus. Not that that'll matter that much, because it's on... Oh, okay. Kled almost dies there. Wow, greedy play from St. Louis University. 80 carry down, almost double CS. But that's just sort of Senna. She's not very strong early game. Leona's carrying most of this lane. It's mostly fine. Senna scales extremely hard, so there's not really a big deal about Senna being down. The problem is, she does scale infinitely, as my co-caster who doesn't like to be on mic, Water, pointed out. Call him Water because he has a drinking problem. And so... Ragnarok is popped top lane by our Olaf, but he's unable to get a kill. And this forces the Mordekaiser out of lane. Nice little dodge by the Mordekaiser on the Olaf Axos we did see in the play. So, lane states are pretty even. St. Louis U is actually down 100 gold, but my money is most of that is coming from bot lane. It looks like the fight in bot lane is being taken 2v2, and Nautilus is able to flash behind the Leona ultimate in order to go for the kill on the Senna, but Leona takes another kill. The 5-in-1 support just making sure he wants to beat the... Oh my lord! Here it comes again. Leona's going for another kill, is able to not dodge the feather recall. Flashes in, the stun, the auto, the W damage. Oh my lord, Leona is 6-1. Woo! Somebody's buying a Triforce in this game, and it's not going to be the Olaf, let me tell you that much. Oh my lord, Leona is looking real spicy this game. Yikes. Alright, we'll see how it goes. But right now, Killinth is going off, boys. Woo! Here we go. Alright. Worth pointing out, St. Louis University's support currently has 66.666% of all of the kills in the game. Not quite sure what that means, but there might be a, support difference this game because of their ability to carry. I don't think Nautilus will be able to do much, especially since he is currently up no levels on him. Nice little root under tower, but Jarvan gets a nice gank off on Proby. Proby being 1v2 for a short amount of time, and of course having no flash and being 1v3, my apologies. Nice take on the tower here. Zaire has to flash out. He might die in Death Realm, but does manage to juke around enough. Might get remounted. Doesn't remount in time. Does go down. The Olaf decides to take the Ragnarok, but is unable to take the fight against the Mordekaiser. Bloody game right now. We're winding up with 15 kills at 11 minutes. We have more than 1 kill a minute. Bot lane being an absolute bloodbath. And top lane, actually, top difference on the other side. Looks like there is a solo kill from the Mordekaiser. Well played. Almost to be expected. Mordekaiser does do a little bit more in terms of the champion. Quite strong right now. We'll see how it goes. The game is just scaling right now. St. Louis U's. I'm currently being propositioned by my varsity coach. My apologies, guys. I'm unable to cast. I'm getting DDoSed IRL. All right, boys. Here comes the dragon fight on Vision. St. Louis U doesn't care. They know they're standing on top of Scuttlecraft. 3 of them just sitting there, knowing that Mordekaiser has the but who cares? Throw the miasma in the back of the wall to make sure the dark EQ in. Doesn't matter. He can EQ through miasma. EQ does not count as a movement spell. Both damage spells, as Water would like to point out. And so far, so good. It looks like it's just going to be a very standard game. Very, very even. 200 gold difference between the team. Oh no, Killinth getting attacked. Misses the ultimate wide, but does get the aftershock off plus Leona W, so he's able to live. Does not die there. Should be noted, Killinth is quite strong right now due to the number of kills that he has. He's put it all into support items. Gives him a lot of health. Makes it very hard for them to kill him even if he gets caught out like that. But it looks like it actually might be a problem because St. Louis U does not have the gold on their carry. Unless the support is the carry, at which point they do have the gold on their carry. But, I don't think that's happening. Senna is the support. That is correct, Water. Thank you very much. Flick looks like he's able to find the EQ onto Proby. Nice flash backwards from Proby. Might get the heal off. Does not get the heal off. That was a bit unlucky. Came out of the bot bush that was pink warded.
after the wave was crashed into tower very heavily by the UNT squad. Now they're freezing the lane, even though St. Louis U backed, which was a bit of a bad read from them. Hopefully they will push it in time to be able to have a lane state advantage here. Top lane, it looks like the tower plates have been massively in favor of St. Louis U because of the Herald drop and pressure that Zaga's been able to assert on this lane. Mordekaiser is a little bit stronger in the 1v1 right now, based on the fact that he is able to itemize basically full damage and do full damage, while Kled is not able to itemize as much damage and be able to stay safe. Excuse me. The Jerbear is very even in CS, as you can see. The stopwatch has been picked up by the Orianna in order to make sure that she will not be run down by Kled or sniped out by a Senna ultimate. But again, the cross map plays, right? One of the reasons why you pick Senna is the fact that you can play top lane and Senna can ultimate. But it should be interesting to see as the game moves on. Yeah, I wish I had something interesting to say here, like talk about Pokemon cards, but I don't really care about any other game, but my good old League of Legends. So here we are, casting League of Legends. This is actually quite an interesting game right now. We are T-minus 2 minutes away from Dragon. This will not be an interesting Dragon Soul. Unfortunately, we have a Cloud Drake Soul, which is quite boring. Map doesn't really do anything. You get a little bit of movement speed around both buffs. Nice ultimate from Leona coming in mid. The TP coming in response. The Jerbear. There goes the stopwatch play that I called out from the Orianna earlier. There comes the Cassio 1v1 in the Death Realm. 1v1 me, bro. Cassio's juking out abilities. The Mordekaiser passive hasn't even been popped yet. Nice play from Killen as everybody comes into the fight. It looks like it is a 2-for-1 in favor of UNT right now, as Zaire is about to. No, he does go down to the Feathered Call. Killen goes back in. Might get the Orianna. 1 HP on the Orianna as she's able to live as a 4-for-1 in favor of UNT, as they are able to take the mid lane fight with the power of that Jarvan ult and the overdive from St. Louis University onto that stopwatch Orianna. That's why you press tab, folks. Always make sure your enemy doesn't have a timepiece. And one of the problems that we're looking at this game is it looks like it might be a repeat of Game 1. As we remember, Game 1, Zaya was quite strong early game, was not able to be shut down in team fights, and was able to just take down St. Louis University. That is what UNT is hoping for this game. Get on my back, the Zaya shouts. Let us run it to the promised land. Should be noted also that UNT should have given the Rift Herald, or Shirley rather, to their top laner, who has a 3-level advantage on their jungler. That 3-level advantage actually translates into Herald health, and because of that, the Herald will have less HP than it would have before if it was taken by the Jarvan, which it has been. So unfortunately, a misplay, but probably not a misplay that will count for much. Just worth it. So, St. Louis U is trying to regroup on the map. They do not have Senna ultimate right now, one of the longer timer ultimates. Same with Kled ultimate, but they are able to set up for the Dragon about 30 seconds out. We will see if... Oh, there goes Killen. He found it pick onto the Jarvan, and down does go Jarvan, sitting on top of a ward. Unfortunately, not able to EQ out. Now that's unlucky. This should be a... Okay, the root from Senna, and the Jerbear gets caught. The Orianna shockwave coming in, pulling in 2, and the Nautilus ult was interrupted by the vision. Okay, 1v1 in the Death Realm. No, not in the Death Realm. Out comes Killeth, and almost down does go the Mordecai. No, he's taking out... Okay, there goes the 1v1. And both top laners are currently dead. Kiana's trying to solo carry this fight with the power of Orianna WQ. Here we go. The root onto the Zaya. Nice ultimate from Proby. And she's able to... No, she's stunned up by the... Oh! Taken out by the Olaf. Now that's a shutdown for Zaga. That is a ace for the side of St. Louis University. TP in from the Jerbear just to make sure that they're able to secure this dragon. They do not have Smite, which should be noted. But St. Louis U might just power through it. One of the important parts of being a jungler is that nobody actually keeps track of Smite time. So normally you're able to say, hey, look, I have a Smite. Just kidding, I don't, but nobody knew that. So that is why Flick didn't go for it. Obviously, Flick knew that he didn't have Smite. He'd be able to go in and contest. But he had no idea.
St. Louis U, please. We are running out of sisters. Won't have any females by next semester. Nice meme, dude. Good Twitch chat memes. I appreciate it. You guys are doing well in Twitch chat. You guys are, you know, I can appreciate the casting for this game. I think I'm doing a decent job. But you know what? I gotta love the Twitch chat. You guys are really what's hard carrying me through this, so thank you. When I run out of content, you guys are the content. Alright, game state. Let's look at the game state, boys. It is up 1,200 gold for the side of St. Louis U. They do have the scaling. So they will be able to pick it up with the infinite scaling Senna, the harder scaling Cassiopeia, and the fact that Kled scales pretty decently. Plus, Olaf is just going to be a permatank. So all of these things are really nice, especially the fact that Olaf is 5 of... Oh, here comes the Kled ult! Doo-doo-doo! Incoming onto the Xayah and the knockup, and everybody runs. Okay, well, there goes that. Xayah flash, though, that's the important part. Nanos ult, Xayah flash, Kled ult. Sort of resident sleeper. Not a big deal. That was a good play from Zaire, noticing that they did not have the Xayah ultimate back up in time. As we know, Xayah ultimate, similar cooldown to the Senna ultimate, probably about a 20-second deviation on that. Just because of the fact that they're both long, sort of bulky ultimates from AD carries. I agree with Water. AD carry is a broken roll. Please nerf. Above our jungle. Alright, jungle is up 1 level. Here comes Zaga just trying to casually 1v3, getting quite angry. Flick has to pop the Herald. It's actually running out of the timer. And I don't think Herald actually is going to be able to get a charge off here. Nobody's on the top side of the map. They do not have TP on Elcan. This might be a bad fight if they decide to do something crazy here. And Herald does go down, but they trade for bot tower. That should be noted, Herald basically got a tower there because they got bot for free. So, you know what? Worth. We'll take it. UNT is playing pretty well right now. Just trying to keep the map state very stable. Don't fight anybody. Just try and scale. Try and let Orianna get items. Try and let Orianna one-shot the AD carry that is Proby. And hopefully, from the side of UNT, they think, hey, if Leona picks up any more kills, maybe, you know, we can win this game by the fact that St. Louis U won't actually have any damage. Which might be true. As you can see, support is up almost an entire item, which is kind of disgusting. Alright, let's look at the gold values. 500 on support, down 1,000 for St. Louis University on AD carry, down 400 from St. Louis University, and up 1,600 gold in the jungle role, and even in top lane. This is quite an interesting game. Jungle difference is showing quite heavily here. 700 gold difference as 3 Drake has been taken, and the Drake is spawning in 1 minute and 40 seconds. This fight is actually, interestingly enough, not that important because Cloud Soul is not that strong. It's strong, but it's not incredibly powerful. As Killeth has been taken into the Death Realm, Killeth is kind of chasing. Oh, he goes in and he's right into 4 people. Hits a 2-man Leona ultimate, a 3-man stun from Senna, a 4-man ulti from Cassiopeia. Everybody's fighting. The feather recall is going to be massive, but that means there's no ultimate from Orianna, no ult from Nautilus, and no ultimate from, most importantly, Xayah. She is killable, whereas St. Louis University has nothing as well. Great ultimates from everybody. Jungler is down. They cannot contest the smite, but there is no dragon up right now. It's still 50 seconds away. St. Louis U looks like they might actually try and book it for Baron, but we'll have to see. I'm not quite sure if Baron's going to be the right call here. Cloud Soul, as I was rudely interrupted by the players, Cloud Soul is not that strong on St. Louis U's comp just because it's only really abusable by Zaga. The Jerbear gets a nice move speed buff, which is okay. Proby, most of his ultimate will take the cast time, so he won't actually be able to get as much value out of the movement speed. And he also is not that helpful. Kled ultimate, I believe, is a stable movement speed. So I don't believe that movement speed actually affects Kled ultimate, which means that, I mean, you know, it's worth checking. I don't actually know if that's the case. If that is the case, it's useless. If it is not the case, Kled ultimate becomes slightly faster by Cloud Soul. And obviously Leona doesn't really get that much value out of Cloud Soul. She just moves more quickly when she hits somebody with an ult. So she's usually able to catch up to them with her E anyway. Whereas blue team with Cloud Soul will be able to abuse it very heavily on Xayah. So if I were blue team here, I would consider giving Cloud, just because you do not have Xayah ultimate. The dunk coming in into the one-man shockwave onto the Jerbear, not that strong. Zaga does go down early into the fight. In comes the Kled ult right onto the Nautilus. Orianna is out of the fight, but she's still able to do some damage. Kled flashes over the wall, one-taps the Orianna, does live long enough to be able to stay alive. 1v1 on the Proby, and he's actually able to win the fight versus the Mordekaiser as he comes out of the Death Realm, still alive, might be able to dodge the Q, does go down. The pole should be able to apply the heal debuff while in stasis anyway, and down does go the Mordekaiser with a 5 for 2. Which is obviously St. Louis U-sided fight. And Jerbear is just going to start up the Baron, and they're just going to allow themselves to pick up an even bigger gold lead with the Baron play, which should be pretty free. Cassiopeia does shred Baron very heavily, and obviously the Cassio itemization is directly into Leandri's, which allows her to absolutely tear through the Baron. Hopefully they'll hold it in time for the Proby spawn. We will see. Proby does spawn in time, and that is a massive pickup for St. Louis U. That gives them almost a 4,000 gold lead. Here we go. This is where the fun starts. St. Louis U is going to push in, and this is where you see the power of the composition from UNT, because UNT took a fight last team fight was actually pretty decent for UNT, but they were unable to trap more than one person in the Death Realm. In the Cataclysm. And because of that, Cataclysm Orianna Shockwave only hit one person, and that one person was the Jerbear. As it turns out, the Jerbear is kind of building health, so he doesn't die that quickly. Leandri's is a nice health item, and the fact that Cassiopeia has naturally higher health means that she has a very hard time of going down in these sorts of engagements. So St. Louis U is just trying to group up, take some split, and try and just force down the map slowly. Make sure they cover vision, you know, cross their I's, dot their T's, all the classics. All right, so game state is pretty stable right now. They are up about 4,000 gold still. Nothing has changed. Bot lane tower did just go down. There is a 5 CS lead top, massive. Jungle CS lead is about 40, which is actually a 2-level lead. There is a 2 CS lead mid, which is 1 level, and Proby has a level on the enemy AD carry with a -50 CS lead. And obviously support has a 17 CS lead. Wow, playing extremely well. Now, the more important part is the fact that Killant has picked up 8 kills this game, which is absurdity. He has over a third of his team's kills, which is hilarious because he's playing Leona. Leona doesn't actually do damage. I think Killen's playing too much Pike. He probably should try and, take a step back and allow his teammates to get some more kills here. All right. St. Louis U is pushing in bot lane. They're trying to make sure that they get bot lane tower as quickly as possible and possibly be able to push in for the inhibitor. We will see if they are actually able to do so. From my understanding, it looks like it is more than likely going to be a Cataclysm Shockwave combo onto Proby if they're keeping timers, because if they notice that Proby has no flash, they should always go on Proby. If they see that the Jerbear has flash, it will be a waste of everybody's time to be dunking the Jerbear, because he will get out very easily. Here we go, pushing in for mid tower, and nothing is happening. Miasma is laid down, and nobody's able to do anything. There's still no Orianna Shockwave. The ball's threatening, but it's only threatening frontline, so nobody cares. Nice itemization from Proby, actually. As you can see, his itemization has been into the Edge of Night, which doesn't allow him to get Shockwave, or Mordekaiser Death Realms, unless it gets procced by Ludens, which it just did, as we all saw. And the Mura Mana, which means he has infinite mana, because that item's balanced. And Rapid Fire Cannon, which will be the third item that he will be buying. So, here we go. Pushing in for top tower, just trying to clear out all of the tier 2s, which means that they will hopefully be able to push in and look for a game end if they are able to find the next fight. I'm not quite sure what they're playing for right now. I think the play is Elder Dragon, actually. So it looks like the gold lead has just ballooned. So we saw about 2.5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, the gold lead was about 4,000. The gold lead has ballooned up to close to, let's do some quick math on air. This is always a bad idea. About 7,000, 6,900, because that's a good number. Alright, boys. Here it is. This Elder Dragon fight is... Oh, Zaga gets caught. Looks like he might actually go down. He flashes out. Maybe he can blast cone. He cannot blast cone while he's in Ragnarok, but everybody else takes a massive Senna ulti across the team. Everybody just starts dying. The Chair Bear has been pulled into the Death Realm, but Mordekaiser has to use his stasis. Everybody's going down. Zaire takes a kill. Zaga's chasing a kill. It's going to be a slaughter across the team. Zaga takes him down. Everybody's dying right now. This game should be a push-in for 2 inhibitors, possibly even the game. They're pushing top here. Massive waves. Zaire TP's up to the top wave in order to keep the cannon minion alive. Let's see how much they can get off of this. St. Louis U really wants to go for it. 5 seconds on the spawn of both bot laners. This might be it. Can they push in for the end? They're going for the end. This is it. They're pushing. The Nautilus hook comes in. Dredgeline, he's going to get focused down. Nice Leona ultimate. Zones out the AD carry. Zaga goes down. So does the J4. Here it is. Nobody's focusing the towers. The minions are slowly dying, but they're still there. Backdoor protections are gone on the tower. And Jerbear just goes down for no reason, gets caught out. Looks like St. Louis U won't be able to end. Killins might be able to turn this, though. No, they do not. Looks like they just want to back out. This is very scary for St. Louis U. They cannot give Elder Dragon here. They will possibly have a chance to lose this game if they give Elder. No. The game is still going. St. Louis U is just sitting in the jungle, wanting to make sure that they do not give Elder Dragon. That is their #1 priority. Proby is on his lonesome. He has not backed while the rest of his team has. Will this be a mistake? We'll find out. He's sitting on 1,000 gold. It's not enough to buy an item. So he's just going to sit bot side, make sure he can try and keep a little bit of vision. Here it is. UNT starts up Elder Dragon. This is it. If UNT gets this, they have a way back into the game, but Oriana's in the base. Zaga just ults in. He's going angry. Ragnarok, he steals the Elder Dragon. Zaga gets the Elder. The fight ensues. Everybody's dying. Proby's picking them off one by one. Elder comes down. Everybody's dead. UNT goes down. This is it. St. Louis is going to win the game. They're all dead. Oh my God, it's over. St. Louis is going to win. The Ragnarok Chad play, run in for the Baron steal. This is it, boys. The Elder Dragon steal. I'm sorry, I'm getting too hyped here. Oh my lord. Oh, it's over. It's all over. St. Louis U wins. Elcan has left the game and that spells defeat. It's over. Let it be noted, St. Louis U will not go down 2-1 in a series, alright? That's all I'm saying. GG, well played from both teams. UNT played their hearts out. Absolutely wonderful game 1 from UNT. Played it very, very well. Game 2, both sides hard fought. Victory for St. Louis U. And game 3, same situation. On no circumstances was anybody thinking this game was over. Everybody thought they could lose or they could win, because both teams played their hearts out. Beautiful plays. Seriously, respect to everybody here. Thank you all for being in Twitch chat with us. Hopefully Chew doesn't hit you all with another ad break, but my voice is slowly dying. I'll just run some music in the background and then I'll shut off the stream. But thank you all. I just want to say, hell yeah. He's done it. Well played. All right, boys. Stream's coming down. Love you.